Testing. Well, is everything working, I wonder? I think it is. Now it's a question of, YouTube. Oh, and booting up the game, of course. Whoa! Here I am! Rocky like a hurricane, or something along those lines. That might be a bit dangerous. Don't do that. I'm gonna be playing a little bit more of Chaos Zero Nightmare today. I'm gonna be trying out... Maybe I'll do some of the Spiral Tower of Screams? Maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll do some of that. But I do want to play through some of that really dangerous codex. The really dangerous one. The one that's very... dangerous. I'll see. I want to play through that one today. And then I also want to maybe do what's it called? This, yeah, Spiral Tower of Screams. I literally just said it. How did I forget? I don't know. Whatever. I mean, it's something, right? So either one of those, probably both of those. We'll see how it goes. I think that would be pretty good. But I'm just booting up the game. Otherwise, how's everything? How's everyone doing? Whoa, look at the raving audience in the background. Wow, we missed your streams. Wow. Like, yeah, I sounded like a grandma there, but really? I don't know. Everyone's so excited. Me, myself, and I. We're in such anticipation. I mean, I can hardly believe it. Everyone's just looking forward to it. And now is technically the time that I'm starting my my stream. But actually, I booted up the game, realized that I'm at nearly maximum stamina, so we'll let everything idle in the background a little bit, but we can talk in the meanwhile, I think. Let me pause this music and switch on over, right? So, yeah, gonna be playing a lot of Chaos Zero Nightmare today, and we'll also be doing the Spiral Tower of Screams. Spiral Tower of Ice Creams. Oh, wow, delicious. I love Spiral Tower of Ice Creams. Wow, I love it. Okay. That being said, however, it is time to upgrade a couple of my combatants. Maybe we'll do Spiral Tower of Screams first, just so that I don't wear myself out on it. Okay. I have, as you might have noticed, upgraded some of my stuff in the meanwhile. So now my Magna is way better than what she was before. My Mika is way better than what she was before. And my Haru is better than what she was at before. So, yeah. It's better now. Somewhat. Mostly. And now it's a question of what kind of team do I want to try bring in to the spiral tower of screams. Okay. Just give me a second. Oh, that's right. I need to make a tweet saying that I'm going live. So let me find my stuff now. Actually, I'll take myself to the Chaos one as well, and that should be good. Spiral Tower of Screams. And we'll do some of these first, because I've not done them for this week. Okay. Yup. And then we've got the update, or the announcement for the update coming out tomorrow, and that should be fairly interesting. Oh, wait, I need to reply. There we go. There we go. I've made my post. I've double checked. I've triple checked. Everything is green. And by that I mean it's all good. Unless you want to say it's all blue. Dabba dee, dabba die. Dabba dee, dabba die. Now, this doesn't seem too difficult. We'll have a gander at it. See how far we get through. And then I'll have my go at what? No, I don't want it to play for me. Why? Okay. Escape. I'm not dealing with this. Why doesn't it give you the option to disable autoplay as you go into it? I don't want autoplay to attempt Spiral Tower of Screams for me. It's not gonna win. I think getting rid of this one. Yeah, and we can get rid of this one too because they don't have any tenacity meter. So, gonna activate every single one of these. Then we've got one extra draw. They're all weak to everything, but I don't have many AoEs, so it's whatever. Oh, also had to be that one, I suppose. Yeah, pretty okay for now. I think actually Magna wouldn't be half bad here. Magna would probably do pretty well. The auto activation via lead cards, so good, by the way. Like, genuinely really good. For one turn, yeah, we can trigger this. Sorry, I need to drink more tea today. I'm worried about my voice. Okay. Sort of. I mean, I've kind of got it now. Kind of got myself under control. We'll get rid of this high HP one. HPness. Bye-bye. And we'll end turn. Unfortunately, not a lot of card draw because I have all of my thingamabob right now. Oh, that's right. With Magna, I really did... Maybe I should do just like a week run. So I can try get the... What's it called? The morale card. The morale monster card. That would be really good. And it would help me so much. It would help immensely with Spiral Tower, actually. I mean, then again, who wouldn't it help out on? So, I'm just thinking that it's, like, designed for Magna. So, yeah, do this, and then I can draw into everything, and then I can also do that. And it's just going to keep generating more and more cards for me to use, which is so good. Did he activate Taunt? No, it was dead. That was why. Okay. This should trigger Afterglow, right? Yeah. But if I do this to that, I'll just generate another one, why don't I? Yeah, there we go. And we'll do it again, generate more cards. Oh my goodness! All these cards flocking to my hand. Whoa, what are with these flocking cards in my hand? I should have healed. I'm noticing. I should have healed there. I had the chance to. The opportunity to heal there. And now I don't think I'm gonna have that opportunity. But, okay. It's gonna activate 0 cost cards. Yeah, that's totally what I want, man. Then we'll do this. Hopefully this triggers some of them. I'm a little bit worried that it won't get some of the Ravage, or not the Ravage cards, ones that generate more, but it seems fine. I think all of these are summons. I could be wrong. Are they? I'm wrong. Yeah, they're not summons. So that was bad. Then we'll homing laser onto this one. Because I don't think it's... Oh, okay. Allowed me to draw. Then we'll do onto this one. Yeah, unfortunate that I drew a bleed card there, but whatever. Or got a bleed card via one of the debuffs or debitations. Then we'll do this. Also, I am downloading my VODs in the background because I intend to make some videos. Yeah, isn't that cool? Wow. So maybe eventually you'll be able to see some of the stuff that I've put out, or see them in more short form content at least. I'll probably hard code / hard embed some of the thumbnails into it. I was looking into that, so that seems like an interesting thing to do, something that I should probably do. But I've not got much experience with whenever it comes to editing videos, actually. So we'll see how that goes. You know, I'm curious how many people will tune in for all of the live stream / broadcast things whenever it comes to the announcement that's coming out tomorrow. That's going to be really interesting to watch. I think, and I would have to double check, if I stream at the same time that's happening. If I'm streaming at the same time that's happening, maybe it's worth making a live reaction. Or if I'm streaming right after it's happening, then I could 100% make some kind of short form content discussing my thoughts on some of the new releases and whatnot. I think that would be pretty interesting. At least, it's something I'm enthused about. But we'll see how it goes, and eventually, once I do make some kind of video. But yeah, besides that, I mean, I really want to... Oh, okay, maybe I should have saved that since that was a destroy. I really want to make more videos, get myself out there, produce more content, stuff like that. I think that would be a lot of fun. And I think right now, my main issue is that I don't put myself out there enough. You know, I might be dashing, gorgeous even, and yeah, just not a whole lot of exposure going on. So leads to a lot of cases where like I'm streaming all this stuff and yeah, I've not got much to show for it at the end of things because, well, I just don't have a whole lot of exposure. I think Twitch maybe isn't that great with it. I don't know how YouTube is, but clearly I'm not being suggested, so the discoverability there is like absolute 0, right? But if I am going to be putting out videos and whatnot, then I'm not sure if I'm going to have to adjust or alter my schedule in any way. It might be the case that, because I'm going to be making videos, making shorts, making clips, that my schedule might change in the future. Maybe it'll mean that I don't stream on Saturdays, and then Sundays I'll continue to stream as per usual, because at least with what I'm thinking that due to how making videos works, due to how long it might take to edit, etc., that Saturdays become my day where I just work on it. and get out as much content as possible to like pre-plan through the week, and it will basically be a week where you see content from my streams, and I think that's probably a good way of going about it. I'm noticing right now that as I'm fighting this, that, oh, okay, I just barely make it. Oh, no, okay, never mind. Target spotted would have gone as well, but yeah, I'm thinking if it's the case, then maybe my schedule has to be adjusted from streaming every day. But we'll see how it goes with the live stream and everything tomorrow as well. Why is the game freezing? I have no clue. Maybe it's because I've got so many things open in the background. Let me double check. No, it doesn't seem like it. Oh, well, I guess the VOD download for making clips and everything is probably a result of it. Honestly, I should have used tactical maneuver there, but is it too late to do that? It's too late. Oop. I guess I'll just hold off on doing that. But we'll see how the live stream goes tomorrow. I'm really looking forward to it. I think we should be getting a lot of information about what 9 looks like, and in that case, I'll be able to make a decision on whether or not I actually roll for Narya. Again, and I've said this before, it seems a little bit like bait that they want you to roll for Narya because they announced 9 as being a character that, oh, they're going to be such a great pairing. But we'll have to see. Maybe they actually are a really great pairing and I'm just making a fuss out of nothing, but I want to be sure. I'm not entirely convinced because Narya's healing doesn't seem as optimal as some others, and if I was going to choose somewhat or semi-suboptimal healing, then maybe it's a better case of going for proper, actual healing. But yeah, that's entirely dependent on whether or not I should go for optimal healing or going for shields. So with 9 being a healer or shielder already, is it worth it? I don't know. But I suppose we'll see. Okay. I'll hold on to this card for now. They shouldn't be doing too much damage, but I'm worried about next turn whenever they're gonna assault me. Let's see. At least it's infinite, but they might all... No, I think they'll get quite a bit of hits off first. Let's try survive this a little bit. Unfortunate that I don't have any draw cards, so I'm kind of at a loss here. It's also taunting, so I can't hit any of the little weaklings to the side. I might be in a really rough spot now that I'm thinking about it. This might not go so well. Let's see. Maybe I can get this to work somehow. If I can kill it in this turn, then I should be okay. Did I just remove my exhaust? No, I did not get rid of the destroy one. Okay. I just have to make sure because I... Okay, am I dead? You're joking. Annoying. Okay. I'll instead swap out to maybe using Magna with that one kit that I created. So it does lack a little bit of draw, but let's see what cards I have for her. I don't want to do quick formation. I want to go into Magna and I want to assign, but what was her kit again? Details, save data. I've got... this one, shield by ability, counterattack vulnerable. It is a little bit sucky because it won't pair so well with Serenial, but yeah, it's kind of okay. Let's see. It was one of these that had the card. There it was, Dominion. Again, is downloading VODs in the background really gonna hamper my ability that much? Jeez. Goodness. Okay. Sorry if it's like lagging or anything, but you know. Mobile games be mobile games. It's not great, but 2 targets that I counterattack. Yeah, maybe this one is fine either way. I really should have gotten rid of it. It would have been good maybe to exhaust some of these, like if I had gone the exhaust epiphany, but I think the Dominion one is more than gonna make up for it. The Dominion card is just so good. It's so good. It feels kind of unbalanced compared to the rest of the cards, but it just makes it impossible to lose at some point. Let's see. Let's get rid of some of these. I don't need those just yet. Storm of Bitter Cold could be good to have here. I know I've lost my healing, but Magna's Shield should make up for it. So let's try. I'm going to use this one. That one won't actually matter that much. It does kill one of them when gaining shield. I think I should use the upgrades for now. That way I can try filter out my deck and declutter it a bit. Though no healing is going to be difficult. It might have been worth getting rid of Selena, actually. Then, let's see, crit? Yeah! Crit hit. Okay. It might have been worth getting rid of Selena, actually. But getting rid of this Frozen Fist card? Yeah, I should have done that. Again, there are a lot of improvements that I could have made to this deck, but this was, I think, my level 90 codex deck. I could be wrong, and I just haven't gone the Dominion card since. So, it's bad, but it's, like, serviceable, and it gets me through a whole lot of it, because I think it's going to make the rest of this way easier. There we go. It's just Selena's lead card is so crazy good. The fact that the Forbidden card triggers, I then have the artifact that allows me to automatically activate it when in hand. Yeah, I mean, there are very few combos of cards that work as good as that one. Oh my gosh, they are going to deal so much damage. That's not cool. Let's try and get rid of some of these, but yeah, let's do this, and then I'll be able to get Ice Wall, but do I do Frost Shield as well? Yeah, I think I can do Frost Shield. I should have done this earlier because I didn't think that it would be able to get a hit on me so quick. So let's throw those on. Maybe I can... No, that just applies Mark. Yeah, I want to try and get this Destroy off. Maybe I should have targeted one of them else, one of the other ones, but I don't know. At least it's working for now. It is kind of risky with how low HP I'm on, though. Are they gonna... Wait, how is he gonna attack again? What is this talking about? I'm a little bit confused. Let's get rid of him. Can I do the Ravage? Can I do the Destroy? Yeah, we can do the Destroy. Generate some more cards, because at least I'm not burning through my entire deck just yet. Which means that I can, if I so choose, decide to Ravage for the next upcoming fights. This was not a good hand to pull. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, that was kind of bad. Seriously? What's going on? Why is it doing this? Oh, it's because I've got every single tab open running my stream. That might be why. I just wanted to make sure that it was actually running properly. So, joke's on me for trying to manage my stream, I suppose. We can do this, and then I get yet another one, and then I can do this. Oh my gosh, isn't this just a crazy combination? What's it gonna do? Let's try get rid of some of these guys from being able to kill me. And then we'll do the same with this one, get rid of more of their attack. Unfortunately, not a crit. Keep the tactical maneuvers. I could use Serenial's Death Halo here, and that would be pretty good. But I don't think it's worth it for now. Yeah, because that's what's gonna happen anyway. We do have to... Never mind, I won't be able to, I don't think. Yeah, because it's gonna trigger 2 cards. I wanted to try get rid of the bleeds, but instead that's gonna happen. So now I can... Oh, actually, Frost Charge, really good. High Power Scope, I mean, it's fairly decent, it's just that... oh wait, no, that was the one on every single coordinated attack, right? Yeah, so never mind, it is actually pretty good. I'm going to then try attack this one, then get the Destroy going off. Actually, use... Wait, no, that's the replicated one. There we go. Trigger that, so then I can draw back into these. Destroy. Wait, I've got 2 Destroy on Ravage. Oh, okay. Not bad, not bad. We'll do this. And then we'll do this so that I can Ravage yet again. Draw some more cards. Homing Laser into this one. And then we'll do the same thing here. Homing Laser onto this one. Maybe it's gonna crit. Maybe I can get it off. Yeah, kind of looking like it. Okay, well, not entirely, but yeah. It still managed to an extent. Then we'll do this, and then we'll Destroy. I mean, it is just... 1 turn, and they really can't do anything about it, so We'll do Afterglow on this. That's pretty good. Get rid of it now. And then I'm gonna have to do, or I want to do Destroy here because that will get me more cards. I'll do Pulse Fire actually, so that it can try to generate a card. It didn't generate a card. Then I want to build up more Afterglow, and that seems to get rid of it. So not half bad, not half bad. Oh, whoops. Also, just like as an off-topic thing, but also slightly on-topic because I can talk about whatever I want, I'm genuinely close to being done with drawing the schedule graphics, so hopefully by the start of next week we'll see some of those schedule graphics. Won't that be awesome? Wow, wow. Yeah, it'll be pretty cool, I think. Okay. I'll do Pale Shooting Star here. That should trigger some of the homing lasers. Then I'll draw into most of them? Maybe? Yeah. Oh my gosh, that is a lot. And also, I think I'm... No, okay, I'm not dead, but I am very close to being dead. Also, I should have done this. This might be really bad. Okay. We'll do this, we'll do this, we'll do this. This is cutting it really close, actually. Oh my gosh. Thank goodness I did that in time. Yeah, there we go. And then I'm gonna do the same thing here. Restore their tenacity. Get rid of all of this again. And then they're focused on summoning. So actually, I can do this. Oh, wait, no. I want to do this because I want to build up more Afterglow stacks. Yeah, there we go. Then destroy. And I think I just managed to one-turn it. So not half bad. Not half bad. Then we'll do this. Build up more Afterglow stacks. And then we'll do a destroy. And there we go, we managed to beat this one extra floor of Spiral Tower of Screams. Not bad, not bad. I think I will swap out Selena though. Like, while she did help there, I think it's going to be a little bit more difficult without any kind of healing. So I'm going to get rid of Selena and swap her out with Mika, perhaps. There she is, swap it out, Mika, there we go. And yeah, it is a little bit more defense-oriented, but I am really trying with the Dominion thing so that I can get up the morale at the beginning. Okay, it does mean that I can't reshuffle my cards, but at least, you know, at least I've got some of these. So let's get rid of it, like so. Then I can use Pale Shooting Star, and yeah, that just adds all my cards back. Very cool. I don't know if this is going to use... If I've got... Oh, okay. Yeah, I had one in the graveyard. So that was pretty okay. Let's add Afterglow just in case. Then we can do another destroy. Then I can do another destroy. Man, it's so good to have duplicates of those. Because it just means that I can... Well, not only generate a whole bunch, but I can... Oh, okay. Yeah. I think I want to get rid of this one first. I can generate a whole bunch and then I can add them to hand, but also they move from discard pile or the recently used pile. So... pretty good. Oh, okay, lag spike because of downloading the file again. Sorry, again, I don't mean for that to happen. It's just that I'm realizing some of the VODs are going to burn out soon, so I'm making sure that I get them so that I can create clips out of them so I can make more content for you guys. I really do want to. I'm thinking I might make a little bit of an analysis video or a little bit of a discussion video, so maybe my next stream, well, actually, yeah, it will be my next stream. Maybe my next stream will be a little bit more formal, because I'm going to have an idea of what I want to talk about, and then I'll probably go through some of the things mentioned, like patch notes or whatever, if they decide to announce that. So that will be pretty interesting. And from there, we'll see how the... how the broadcast goes. There we go, there's my second VOD downloaded, and I think that saves me 2 days or whatever. So I'll hold off on downloading for now, and then hopefully my bitrate won't be absolutely terrible, because I think it was because I was downloading that it was just kinda sucky there. So hopefully that isn't the case. Again, Glacial Iron Fist should have been an exhaust, I think, so it dealt more damage, but maybe it's better that it's not, at least for the time being. And yeah, we're just going to end up using every single one of these cards because I want to try burn through this main guy. Otherwise he's going to taunt and he's going to gain a whole bunch of shield and I'm going to be really unhappy. And yeah, I'm not going to enjoy it. Let's gain some more morale. Let's gain some Blessing of the Waves. We could heal up a bunch. I think we should probably use this now. Then Yeah, we can do this, and then I gain 1, and then I can... Okay, yeah, I can just repeat stack into this, and that's basically saved myself from kind of dying, kind of. We'll do this, and then I can activate Storm of Bitter Cold. That's really good, so now we've got 1 more upgrade card out of the way. Then we trigger all of these. Oh, okay. Did my damage one already go away, or my, was it Destruction? What was it? It wasn't Ravage, it was whatever came after. Whenever you get to deal double hits whenever its tenacity bar is reduced or removed. Also, it's only been 3 turns, but the fact that I've been able to rack up this much morale, really good. Also, the healing, not half bad, means that I can basically go through every single card. Here we go. Yeah, and there we go, activating some Afterglow. Destroy, that's what it was called. Yeah, and then we'll do left to right just so that it uses my moved cards and not anything else. But, oh well. Did manage to go through everything. Ended up with 1 extra AP. Makes me feel like I should have had something for that. Again, I need, like, way more card draw, if anything. It would have been nice if that wasn't fixed damage, and instead that was a, what's it called? Fixed damage. Oh, Shield Overflow. That would have been really good. Because the shield overflows, they're kind of nuts, actually. Since Mika gets such a bonus from healing, she can essentially build up a really high overstack, or overhealed stack of shield. Let's see, then we want to build up some shield here. That one doesn't really matter, but I will heal just in case, I suppose. Then I'll do some of these. I just don't want this guy to trigger the same effect that his monster card drops, which is the extra morale. That's gonna suck so badly if that's the case. It is worth just like having music on in the background. I don't know, what is everyone's opinions on having music in the background of a stream? Oh, that's not cool. Why'd you decide to be a bot and do that? No thanks, but go away. Sorry, that's a bot posting their links. You can't really help it, but oh well. They will do whatever it takes, I suppose. So let's do this. Actually, I'm thinking that if I can get both of these destroy ones, then I can activate my pale shooting star, and then that should trigger the double ravage ones, hopefully. I think that's a good order of doing it. Let's see if it shows up. Yeah, use them. So now it should do 6 or 5. Yeah, there we go, it did 5. Yeah, not half bad at all. Okay, then we'll do this, and it's swapped to a heavy attack because I've dealt so much damage. I don't really want the counter attack, but I will heal myself up a little bit. This is the second last battle, so maybe I'll use the ego skill. Either this battle or the next one, but oh my gosh. Magna's just pure shred is really good there. Yeah, is it worth getting? No, I kind of want to keep those, so I'll destroy this. Yeah, generates a bunch of shield. Then we've got the boss, and this might go poorly, but we'll see how it turns out. I kind of want to use this, but it doesn't gain me any shield right now, so we're gonna do homing laser. I'm thinking then we'll do death halo. That should draw a bunch of cards, because I think I've exhausted a whole bunch. Serenial's so cute, by the way. I think I've exhausted a whole bunch of them. Yeah, there we go. And then I can at least get rid of his shield somewhat, and that will be able to give me, oh, but it doesn't really matter, because he's going to be able to just thwack me on the head, right? Yeah, that's unfortunate. But it seems kind of okay. I just need to get rid of the shield so that I can use Glacial Iron Fist, and then I'll be mostly fine. We'll use all of these as well. I don't have any kind of retain, but we'll do that. Then if I get burnt, yeah, because it seems to have done some kind of damage, then we'll use Homing Laser here. It didn't generate anything, and then I think maybe I gain one more counterattack. I'll hit this one because it's dealing a lot of damage due to the increase in morale. So, seems kind of fine for now. Let's draw a card. Again, would be really nice to draw more than just, you know, a couple per turn. We can do this one. I think we will, actually. I want to draw more cards, but hopefully it's... yeah, that's okay. We'll gain counterattack on every single hit or against all enemies.
Then we'll try to reduce this guy as much as possible. Unfortunately, it did not get him down enough to put him into a ravaged state. That sucks a little bit, but at least we've got counterattack is done to all enemies, so we can reduce the guy on the right shield a little bit more. We do want to use Blessing of Water. I think that one's really good. Then we're going to... Can I try get him down enough on this, then see how it goes? Yeah, actually we can. So then I can retain my Glacial Fist. He is going to be shielded, so I think I'm going to do this. I'm going to activate that, then it doesn't shield him, then it's only going to add shield to him. He gains vulnerable. We then throw this on, and we're going to trigger some of these. Is it one more? It is one more. Then we're going to destroy, and that's going to deal an extra hit. Then we're going to destroy yet again, and it's now just a case of running every single one of these. Also, it looks like he's able to attack me, which is not cool. Does that mean he's going to be able to attack me again? No, it doesn't. But I am going to be able to use Ragna's skill here. See? Oh my gosh, 16,000 damage in a single turn? Yeah, I don't know. I really like Ragna's kit. Or Magna. Why do I keep calling her that? It's Magna, it's Magna, it's Magna. I keep forgetting, or somehow just like misremembering. Apparently, the Spiral Tower Screams goes all the way up to level, or up to floor, what was it, like 75 now? But I don't know, I can barely get up to a certain extent of it. We'll see how far I can get. I really do like, was it one of the backgrounds or one of the stickers for Spiral Tower Screams? So that's kind of like my motivation, or at least for now it's one of my motivations to have it look a little bit pretty, because I think it's just so cool to be able to decorate your custom kits and everything. At least I really like it. Means that I can make things look pretty. I love it when it looks pretty. Okay, I kind of used that on the wrong one, but that should be fine. At least it's activating it now. Okay, lag spike, very cool, very cool. Then we've got destroy, then we can go through this. Again, I need more card draw is what I think the main issue is, because right now what's happening is I'm not getting to that Dominion card, which means that I'm not gaining some of the bonuses of my upgrades, which is kind of sucky. I'm thinking, yeah, Glacial Iron Fist is really good here. I've no need for anything else. Saving up some of my EP points so that I can use them for the boss again. Tactical Analysis, really going to help here. Then we'll use Source of Water. Oh, we can do Storm and we can do the other upgrade. Thins my deck out a little bit. Hopefully I can get Dominion next turn. I'm not 100% sure. We'll trigger this, deal some more damage. Oh my goodness, all of the cards keep rushing back. And now my discard pile is like really quite big. I think I'm going to be able to get it next turn. It at least looks like it, because, I don't know, I've got 7 cards left. So the hope is anyway that I'd be able to try and get Dominion. Yeah, there we go. We've got Dominion. Unfortunately, it showed up at a somewhat bad time, but here we go. Let's trigger that. Then we can... Oh, it needs to be hit twice more. Does this one count as being hit twice more? Boom, boom. Yeah, it does. Okay, very cool. We don't care about that. We do care about the amount of damage that this guy is going to deal to me. So I am going to try and incapacitate him here. We'll do a destroy, add 2 hits. Then we'll try get this guy down a little bit. So now all of them are stunned. Don't have to worry about taking damage this turn, which is pretty nice. I feel like there should be more characters with intent attributes. So like if a character's intent is to attack or whatever, then you've got a really adaptable, unique moveset. Kind of like how some of the relics in Slay the Spire worked, but I don't know. I feel like maybe that's that could be a future character that you've just got someone who's a good all-arounder. Then actually I will draw a card because I'm more concerned about... okay, I'll think I'll do Glacial because that will give me more counter attack. So there we go, gain +1 counter attack, and then we'll be using Homing Laser all throughout, I think. This could crit and this could kill, so I'm kind of hoping that it does. It did not. Then I will use this for some extra Afterglow stacks, then I'll use this, and then we're just going to destroy it and gain another AP. it's already going to be not stunned, but we are moving on to, is this the final one? No, this is 4 out of 5. Okay, so we're nearing the end of this. Not half bad, actually. I thought this might have been a little bit more difficult, but it really is mostly enemy dependent on what makes some of these battles really difficult or really challenging. At least I am able to ravage him here, and I'm able to use all of my cards. I don't need a heal, but I think that I will anyway, see if it reduces some of... Oh no, I don't even need to care about stress. I could also use this card to draw one more, but I have used every single upgrade card, so I'm not overly worried. How on earth is he going to do that? Okay, that is not good. Let's see if I can Glacial... Yeah, I can Glacial Iron Fist. That puts me at 3. Then I want to... Oh, okay, a little bit of Lag Spike, then I'm gonna Ice Wall, then I'm going to do all of this. Hopefully this gets rid of more of his damage, but I don't know, it's not looking like it. That's so much damage, you know, not half bad. Then we'll also get rid of these cards on him. Let's try to generate another Homing Laser. Yeah, there we go. Not bad. And then we also beat him in the same turn. Well, well, well. Now this boss, I think he's going to be a little bit annoying. I could be wrong, only because I don't fully remember what his moveset was going to be. I know he's going to heal himself when he gets down to half HP, but considering the amount of morale that we're building up, I'm not thinking that's an issue. This draws 2. Hopefully we can get something nice. Okay. Yeah, I can just use every single one of these here, and then I'll use Frost Shield just because it's going to build up another stack of counterattack, and that should be fine. I actually don't know how much counterattack I'm on right now. Let's see. 10 stacks. Oh my goodness. Maybe we do... No, I'll save it for next turn because I don't have any AP this turn. I just really... Oh no, now it's going to reshuffle everything. That's not good. I'll do all of this, then I will use this one because this is gonna shield me so much. Then now I'll use her, and then hopefully I can draw into something good. Maybe another. Okay, it's another card draw. Just that, but Homing Laser, not bad. I feel like maybe I should have gotten a card that allows me to draw and Ravage or something. That would have been pretty cool. Now at least it's changed into healing, so that's not too bad. It is going to heal a lot though, but at least it's not up to full, and at least I avoid the damage. Maybe we do Cobalt Light here. I'm actually not sure. No, we should do Plasma Missile. No. Yeah, no. Yeah. I could do, then I would be at 1, because if I use Plasma Missile, then I would be at 0 whenever I try to use this, and I want to draw cards. So let's use Cobalt Light here. And that will give me 2 cards, and then I can hopefully draw something useful. I did draw a Frost Shield, that's pretty okay. Use all of these cards, try to get rid of him. I think I just allowed myself to be hit. Yeah, I did. That's not very cool. So we'll continue using all of those. Unfortunately, actually, no, I will build up the counterattack. And then, just because I'm ending my turn, I will use Pon Pokapon. Pon, pata, pon. And that way I can restore some of that. Maybe we go into an Ice Wall here. We'll use that first. I do want to use Ice Wall now. I should have used it first, honestly, but I think... okay, maybe not. Oh, yeah, I am going to be able to Ravage him here. Then I can do Pulse Fire. It is unfortunate, however, that I somehow did not get Magnus skill whatever in rolling the ego skills. So it's just like not there whatsoever as a part of the list. But there we go. That's another floor, another 5 stages of this tower completed. Very cool. Very cool. Let's see. I actually can't believe that I've managed to get up this far. Oh my gosh, why is it... How did I get up here? What on earth? Okay. Go back, will you? Jeez Louise. Okay. Here we go. Reward info. Where do we get that background or whatever it was called? Oh, it's over here. Spiral Tower of Screams Mental Breakdown sticker. That's pretty cool. Why does this say at 110 and this one says 100? That seems a little bit disproportionate. Am I reading this wrong? Also, I want to go to some of the achievements and then we can see. Because I wanted... Where is it? There is one background somewhere in here. No? Okay. Somewhere in here. No? Okay. Somewhere in here. Maybe complete codex 50 times. That's a really long one. Total login days 100, not too long. Total login days 365. Yeah, I mean, I'll get those eventually. Let's see, maybe I can go into my combatants and then I can check out some of their kits or whatever. And I can see if I customize where to get this from. Because this says, yeah, Spiral Tower of Screams. What on earth? How am I meant to get Impulse Red? I don't know, I really want that one. Fear Green? Yeah, all of these look so cool though. I want to see where I can get them. Spiral Screams Tower? Yep. But, Waypoint Recall. I don't know what this means. Currently in beta, the official update for this content is planned at a later date. Okay. I did not get any of those, like, stickers or backgrounds, though, is the thing. But it says it's supposedly meant to be here at some point, eventually, sometime, someday. So, I don't know. Maybe I should do, like, a quick run of Magna. I really do just want to grind out to get that monster card. It's just unfortunate that her kit is what it is now, because I think I would have played Magna as more of a card draw, morale engine, so to speak. And that probably would have been pretty good. Let's try to get rid of both of those cards, then we can at least do this. That gets me 1 Ravage. And draws 4 cards into hand, at least? Okay. Okay, way more than what I thought. Yeah, that draws plentiful amounts of cards into my hand. And then we just use every single one, even if it exhausts it. Yeah, but as I was saying, it would have been nice to, like, have more card draw when it comes to Magna, because right now she's good, but she's just not doing everything I need and want her to do. Okay... No, I should have used Glacial Iron Fist there, it seems. Like, maybe getting Dominion really early on is the game plan here. Just because it allows me to do things like that. Okay, I could... Yeah, I think I'm gonna Plasma Missile here. Then I'm gonna use Ice Fragment. And that's gonna help me out a lot. And then I think... I am going to take damage here. No, actually, I'm going to be able to get rid of him before he can. Yeah, there we go. So now I've got Dominion applied, and I've got a whole bunch of my extra cards activated. I just really want to be able to have Magna's skill prepped and ready for, what's it called? The final boss or final enemy stage? Whatever. Wave? Yeah, I think it's Wave. Is it using 2? No. Yeah, wait, what? Oh, yeah, it's using 2 because it was, Shooting Star, Big Fart, or whatever it was called. We'll do this. Then I'm going to... Oh, actually, Source of Water. Don't mind if I do. Then we're going to try... Let's see, do I counterattack? Yeah, I'll add some shield as well, just in case. Because he's going to deal so much damage. I do want to get rid of this guy, though, because he is, like, such a menace to dealing damage. So we'll try and get rid of him this turn. And then... Okay, nearly. I think he dies to Agony. We'll do some healing as well. I know it's not much, but, you know, at least it's not the end of the world if I don't get healing off. I'm just thinking for some of the next stages. So I could... Let's do Homing Laser here so he doesn't hurt me. Then we'll do Ice Punch. Then... Oh, okay, we managed to ravage him on the same turn. Then we'll do... No, I need to do this because of Afterglow. Then I need to use these. Yeah, there we go. And that should kill him. Yep. He managed to crit 2 times in a row, actually. That's pretty nice. Okay. Then we've got Blessing of Waves. Yeah, I think that should give me 1 extra. Yeah, okay, cool. Then I want to do Cobalt Light. Hopefully, yeah, that seems to have broken 2 of them. Oh, all 3 of them. Oh my goodness. Okay. So then we'll continue to do this. Unfortunately, one of them is going to attack me, but that's okay. We're going to... I think using Frozen Fist probably deals more damage here. No, apparently not. Let's heal for 1, then let's throw on Plasma Missile. Then does this deal more damage? I mean, it has the chance of dealing more damage because it also generates, right? Okay, well it didn't generate. I've also got a lot of counterattack stacks for Magna right now. I really want... Okay, well, none of those, but I really wanted... let's see. Yeah, we can Ravage here. Nice. Okay. Then I'll use Glacial on this, gain some more shield. Very cool. Then I can do Destroy, and I think this... Yeah, this Ravages as well. Not half bad. Then I can basically just hit him with a bunch of these, and that should be enough. I mean, it's going to generate even more cards, and it's also going to add the other ones to my hand, so not bad, not bad. I think my hand was already full though, so when it tried adding the ones that move from discard pile, it didn't really help. Oh well, not too bad. Then maybe we'll do... Actually, I think I'll save the Codex level 122 for tomorrow for the stream, because that gives me something challenging to do. But I don't know. Maybe someone wants to voice their different thoughts or differing opinions. That's fine and all, but like, have you considered that I might be right and you're wrong? So, we'll see. I just want to be able to play the game and have some of the more hype per se moments show up whenever people actually are paying attention instead of like afterwards, you know? Let's do Ice Wall, because I think he's gonna eventually begin hitting me. Okay, it was just another homing laser. We'll do this, and I think he's gonna begin attacking me now. So he's got what? After acting, if being hit, immediately use smack. Yeah, okay. So I could kind of wipe him right now, but I think I'm not going to bother doing that. I don't want to draw too many more cards now because I would rather... Okay, well, I'm going to have to shuffle it next turn anyway, so that's not too bad. I'm going to use Pale Shooting Star. Probably not the best one for right now. It would have been better to have gone that next turn, but hopefully I can shuffle it into my hand for next turn or something. Then we'll use Afterglow. Then we're going to use these Destroy cards. That seems pretty good. Then... Yeah, just one more. And I think that gets rid of him. No, it doesn't. But the counterattack will. So that's not half bad. There we go. Actually, the counterattack stacks, along with everything else, is pretty good. Okay, so I'm going to use both of these. We'll see how much that takes him down by. Then we're going to use Glacial Fist. I kind of want to use Blessing of Waves just to try to see if I can get another homing laser. I did not get another homing laser. Unfortunate. Okay, I'll end my turn there. Yeah, not very nice of him to do that to me. Then we'll do Tactical Analysis. Plasma Missile, maybe? Oh, actually, what's this? Yeah, Afterglow. There we go. So now it'll move to my hand. Not bad, not bad. Then we'll use all of these. Yeah, it's basically just using every single card to try and get rid of him. Does he have able to... When acting? Okay. I'm just wondering if he has anything else that would give him more moves or something. I see he's got... Okay, he's got some kind of Fury accumulation or whatever. At the start of the turn, change to 1 extra action. Yeah, it's not gonna matter all that much. I'm wanting to build up way more counterattack stacks with Magna is what I'm thinking. We'll punch him here. Use all of these. Maybe I should have used it left to right, but unfortunately I'm not going to be able to Ravage either way. So I could... Let's see. Extra action removed. At least he's got a limited amount, and then we can use Serenial stuff here. I'm trying to think if that was even a good idea, because I'm beginning to doubt that was a good idea, just in order to get off all this extra damage going, because I think he's got more extra attack actions. Yeah, I think I've actually lost now. How on earth did Magna fail this? Okay. Can I undo my current turn? I mean, it's restart, yeah. Let's undo the current turn. I don't actually want to do that. I need to build up way more stuff. So, he's going to do 5. Yeah, so we use all of these. That seems okay. Then we can use... Or actually, we probably want to end the turn here, right? He's got one more. When acting decrease. I don't know. Yeah. So we'll end the turn there, actually. Then I don't take that much damage. It's like bad, yeah, but it's still a comparable amount to whatever. We can do this, then we'll glacial here. So we've got so much shield to work with. Then he's gonna try and attack, but actually, I think we'll do this, then that way he can't deal much else. Then we can just pelt him with everything, and I think he's basically dead now. Oh wait, what on earth? He's gaining like extra attacks? How much more does he have? Okay. I think Magna kills him here. Yeah, Magna kills him here. So that's not... It's not end of the world. That boss is actually kind of ruthless, thinking about it now. That did not go so well, but, you know, at least it's like... At least it was a win. So that's pretty cool. Now we're at 50... This is level 135. At least I know that I can get to this point now. I'm wondering if it's worth leveling up Magna, actually. I could, in terms of potential, increase their stuff, but Magna seems pretty okay so far. I don't know. I feel like there's already plenty of stuff I've got in place. Actually, I feel like these are not high enough level, but yeah. Whatever. Yeah, do I just continue? Available loot. It is saying that there's available loot. Okay, and I guess it's these ones. Yeah. I kind of want to try to get to level or floor 100, but I don't think I'm actually going to be able to. Some of these seem really difficult. Why is the 110 one here, by the way? That seems pretty odd. That seems like a misclick of some sort. To have it all the way up there? Okay. Then, yeah, it goes even further than that. I wonder how they were thinking about this. Defense-based damage increases? Yeah, I know. Maximum amount of cards that can be created per turn is 12. Oh, okay. I think. Maybe we do a little bit of a Magna run either way. Just try get her that Dominion card. Or maybe we continue? I'm not sure. What do you guys think? Maybe... Maybe if I do a quick run now... Oh, right, because it's going to be reset tomorrow, and then by the time that I play, it won't be reset. Yeah, let's do a Chaos run, perhaps. I kind of wanted it to be Codex, but I don't think it's worth it. So I'm going to do... Foretold Ruin, and I know it's going to be difficulty 60, but we're going to do Nightmare. Oh, actually, that doesn't let me gain full benefits. I think I will have to do Codex. So let's do Codex in the 0 system, and then maybe I'll swap out this one. Yeah, let's try get the same one for Justice, I guess. Max health decreases? I don't know, I don't really want that one. Let's not refund, don't show again, merge again. I can do this so many times now that I'm looking at it. This one's level 79 because credits. Yeah, okay, that one seems way better. We'll enter with this. We've got my team here, and I will be attempting to go for more Magna oriented stuff. Hopefully I can get the Dominion one, don't see for a week, and then with that I can make a pretty good build. I'm not sure. Here's hoping that the build will be any good though. Yeah, random combatant gains Epiphany. Select and obtain 1 neutral rare card for 3 normal battles. I don't know, I think Epiphany is probably better now. Okay, yeah, maybe. I was reading in the patch notes, they are changing how some of Haru's abilities are working. That's gonna be really nice. I hate it that Anchor Lift, or whatever, increases the cost of Anchor Shot. It just seems like so wasteful. It's like actually a card that you can just get rid of, and you'd be equally as good off, as well off as you were before. Lose 50 credits, obtain 1 of 3 random legendary neutral cards. Okay. Or I could go for... Yeah, I think I'll do this one, actually. Hopefully we can get belligerence. No, we didn't. That sucks. Okay. We can do gear bag and we can throw it on Mika. I think that should be fine for now. I'm not, like, enthused about it, but I'm also not against it. I don't know. It's really hard to put where I feel about it. Let's see if we can hit... No, do we want to hit this one? I'm not sure. Actually, yeah, because I think some of the options are pretty good. So let's go here, and then we'll try hit more of these. I do have to try hit some of the elites, so we'll go through this way, then up. So let's go up here, and hopefully we don't get anything too bad. Oh, is it? No, okay, it's one of the rock guys. I thought it was one of the guys with the big eyeball that, like, change all the costs of cards. They suck so bad. They're such an annoying enemy. I mean, it would have been maybe okay for that turn, but considering that I'm playing 2 healers, yeah, I don't think so. They just really don't work out well with, like, the rest of the crew, or the rest of my characters or combatants that I have currently. So let's see, maybe we'll go over here, and then, yeah, I will do a rest, and, okay, a source of water, but it doesn't draw a card, whatever. We'll do power anchor. Ugh, sorry, yawn break. 1 hour, oh my gosh, guys, can you believe it? We're already at 1 hour? 1 hour? This is huge, guys, whoa. Then we'll activate this. It's not gonna attack me, but that's whatever. Then, hopefully, okay, we can activate gear bag, we can do anchor shots, we'll probably do frost charge, yeah, that applies vulnerable. I should have probably done that first, actually. Then we can do anchor, then we can gain some energy, then we'll do frost fist, and that seems like it. We're not going to take a lot of damage. Then again, I feel like I've kidded myself out to be taking way more damage because we were playing level 122 zones or level 112 zones earlier, so maybe now that I'm like barely taking any extra damage, it's like, I don't know, it's just not nearly as difficult. I could try go for the training here, but I don't think I will. I'm not gaining a whole lot of credits, and now that I'm realizing it, I did pick one of the options that reduces the amount of credits gained. I was thinking that I could have maybe gotten the lead card to try and trigger some of Magna's passive abilities, but now I'm realizing that I won't even be able to do that. Let's see, maybe I can also get this off. I can try... No, okay. It's not really going to make much of a difference. I was thinking that I could use Magna's ego skill, and then I could build up one more, what's it called, AP, and then via that I could, I don't know, do something. But yeah, do something, do nothing, basically the same thing in this case. Let's activate Ice Wall. There's no points, there's no rhyme or reason at this point to do it. So let's see. I could use Ice Fragment here. It kind of sucks that I got 2 healing cards. We'll do Anchor Drop here, doesn't matter, and then we'll do Shield, or Water Barrier, and that gets me like a little bit of HP. Maybe it reduces some of the stress that my characters build up. I don't have much stress though, so it doesn't seem like it's going to be doing much. Gear Bag is going to upgrade. We're going to do Frost Charge for now though, then Gear Bag's going to trigger, then hopefully we get an Epiphany. Maybe, I don't want it to be Whirlpool. I pray it's not Whirlpool. We'll do Anchor Shot, and then we can use Magna, and then we can win the fight here. I don't want to take damage. I don't think I was taking damage, but I've noticed that in my previous playthroughs, I've just been really conservative when it comes to using my AP, and that's like the main issue that I think I've been having, that I could increase like my skill ceiling by using those. Okay, when an upgrade card is used, I think that goes best on Magna for now, because she has, what, how many upgrade cards in the beginning? Was that an elite? That didn't feel like an elite. Okay, whatever. We'll continue up at the top, because I want to try hit some more of the elites. Increase remove. I think we're removing a card, right? We want to try get rid of the shields, but I think I'm going to try get rid of Frozen Fist first. I don't really want it. I should also try get rid of the attack cards that Mika has, just because the water bullet, whatever it was called, isn't that good. Okay, perfect. We managed to get this guy. Now here's hoping... Okay, never mind. We get literally anything but these cards. I just wanted to deal some kind of damage, but unfortunately not. Looks like we're not going to be able to. Whatever, whatever. We'll do Ice Fragment, that's pretty good. Then we're going to draw 2 cards, then we can do Source of Water, see what we get. Yeah, we can do... Okay, we'll do this one, and then we'll do this one, and that's kind of removed his armor. I mean, it's done a lot of damage, but it hasn't reduced his armor entirely. I think if I were to, he would probably be dead within the next 2 turns or something like that. What's this gonna give me? Is this gonna give me... lift? Okay, good, it's not lift anchor. I want to do frost charge, and then I think I'm gonna... Yeah, okay, I can use this, and then I can use anchor pointer, and then I can fetch my pulverize or my anchor shot, and then I can do this, then I'm gonna gain 1 more AP, then I can do frost shield, add 1 counter attack. I don't see why not. With the extra counter attacks, although Magna's ability isn't like fully up there yet, it's still not half bad. Okay, we were able to get rid of all the burns. Also not bad. Here we go, some counter attacks. Can I get some healing? Yeah, we can do some healing. Then we'll do anchor shot just because I'm worried about like, oh, what if it misses? I don't think I can miss, but you know, it's whatever. Hitting a target under weakened status. I think this is probably best on Haru for now. So yeah, let's see if that even becomes useful later on. I don't think it's going to be useful. There are very few cards that actually decrease it. Also, really unfortunate we didn't get the monster card. That's major bad, actually. I mean, that's like most of the reason why I'm doing this run in the first place. I do want a good deck, and I do want to get some of the epiphanies for Magna so that she has a good deck, but I'm thinking that like if I'm not gonna be able to, then there's probably no reason to do the run, like genuinely, because I really need that monster card. Genuinely. Also, I think reset just happened because now I have 25 of the sands again. Okay. Anyways, let's continue. Hopefully I can get a good item out of here. I kind of want some of the rare items at least to try and justify this run, but I don't think I'm gonna get some of those if I'm being honest. It really feels like... Oh, okay. Really feels like I'm not going to get to them whatsoever. We'll take those. I'm just trying to use up my tickets, whatever they're called, in order to rack up some of the stuff. Okay, desire... no. Decrease and obtain 1 of 3 neutral legendary. Yeah, here we go. Please give me something like belligerence. No. Okay, I didn't get belligerence. Select and move. I don't really like precision aim. It is drawing and it is shuffling, but I don't know. I haven't found so much of a use for it yet. Dimensional tunnel. There we go. Do we throw it onto Mika is the question? I think we put it onto Mika, right? Because we want to make sure that she has like a little bit more card draw. Could also put it on... Actually, I could put it on Magna. Magna might be really good because then it would activate lead, and then I could have the 1 relic or whatever. But that depends on if I can get belligerence or not. I mean, it would be good to just have a curse card in general, or a forbidden card. I keep mixing up the two, because a curse card... A curse card is kind of different, isn't it? Trigger epiphany to 1 selected cards. This is orange, but this says Nihilum. I kind of want to be able to select which one I want to do it to, so even though that would be nice, I'm going to do it to this one. Question is, which one of these do I go for? I could do Ice Fragment, that one's really reliable. Ice Wall is also pretty good, but if this one isn't a Divine Epiphany of some sort, okay, it is a Divine Epiphany. Then, at the end of the turn, oh, but I get Morale Resolve. At the end of the turn, Shield 20. That's pretty okay. It would have been cool with the left-based one getting Morale and Resolve, but I don't know. Resolve, was that damage? No, that's Shield. Okay. So Shield is actually pretty good for Magna in this case. I can increase the output by that by 20, considering that I have nothing else that gives me Resolve. Not half bad. Not half bad. I don't know why you'd ever pick the combat scenario on the bottom one. It always feels like you want to go for the top one here, where you get the event to choose between things that you want. Trigger Nihilum Epiphany, yeah, of course. Hopefully it hits another one of Magna's cards. Yes, it does. For 1 turn, gain 3 Fortitude, reduce the cost of this card by 1. That's not half bad. Counter attack applies to all enemies, though, also really useful, and it's an upgrade card, which means that it gets rid of it, but it being 1 cost is probably better because the Fortitude bonus, yeah, it is a reduction in damage. So considering the fact that I don't have many Fortitude cards just in my deck in general, that will probably help. Again, if I can build up morale with the Dominion card, I mean, it's game over either way, right? Let's do Anchor, let's do Water Barrier. The Engraved Malice, yeah, unfortunate that it removed or discarded some of my attack cards, but I don't know. It should be okay. And of course I had to draw it first thing as well. Never mind. Okay, we'll do this and then we'll do Piercing Deafness. No, okay, now we'll do Piercing Deafness. I don't want to draw more exhaust cards in my deck. Just the Engraved Malice, getting that first in my hand at the start of each turn, really unfortunate considering the fact that it's like, oh yeah, wait, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, it's the most likely, I don't know. Create this card and draw it? No. Retain, Pulverize? No thanks. Upon critical hit? I think that's probably the better one in this case. I did crits. We'll do Frost Shield just because that adds it. Then I'm hoping that with Anchor Pointer, I can get the Retain effect, where I can add Retain to my cards. We'll do Frost Charge. Also, why are some of these cards triggering? I'm really not sure. For each enemy, gain 50% or plus 50% shield. To targets that attack, count, or vulnerable. You know, I kind of think that Frost Charge is better, just because anytime I apply a counter attack, it's just like way more vulnerable. It's not infinite, but it is like a substantial amount. Then we can do Ice Wall here, then we can do Anchor. Unfortunately, this is just building up wave, but hopefully that preps us for some more later. Okay. Then Engraved Malice. Oh, we'll do Anchor Shot. That's unfortunate. Then we'll use Overload, and because we don't have the Epiphany or whatever on the Anchor Shot for the, what was it? Fish Out? I don't know. It's Go Fish, but with the Anchor Shot. Anchor Pointer, that's what it's called. Unfortunate that we don't have, like, any of the cards to make it retain or hold in hand so that I could hold on to Anchor Shot. Because I think now with such a high crit rate, Lift Anchor sucks. With such a high crit rate, it's just not going to help much. Heart of the Jewel doesn't help me whatsoever either. Not cool, not cool. Then we'll escape. Actually, what is my Faint Memory looking like? I think it's already attached the Faint Memory onto Magna now that I'm thinking about it. Or not the Faint Memory, but the Forbidden card. I think it's already attached it onto her. Let's see. We'll do this one, then we'll heal up a little bit. Then I don't have a mental breakdown. Then we'll do some rest, and then hopefully the next elite that I fight is going to be the one with the Dominion card. And in that case, that should be okay. You know, as I'm thinking about this, like, I'm not particularly entertaining, I think, whenever I'm speaking about card games, or whenever I'm playing this. Maybe it's not this specific, right? But maybe the issue is more so that whenever I'm going on this game, I'm always thinking about it more as, oh, I'm using this as a medium in order to talk a lot with chat, so it's not taking my mind off of things. Okay, also, let's throw on this one because I want some more of the, Wave, Frost Shield, and that's unfortunately it. These are both gonna retain, doesn't matter. Kinda sucks, but whatever. Let's see, can we do Gear Bag? I also want to get rid of that one, but let's do Ice Wall. I kinda want to get rid of that one, then I have to get rid of Shackles. Shackles is just such a negative card. Then we'll also use this one, I forgot what it was called. Ice Fragments, was it? Yeah, probably. And now we're gonna deal a couple more attacks, but then we'll do, oh my gosh, Shackles again. Then we'll do Power Charge. At least it's not some of the other Forbidden cards with the Engraved Malice, where they just like increase the cost of all attacks, because that one is probably the worst one by far. It's like not a fun card to have, it just completely nulls my plays. And some turns you just go without dealing any kind of damage, and that really sucks. Also, I'm not sure, after playing Slay the Spire again in a really long time, I'm not sure if I prefer the idea of vulnerability being applied as a per turn or as a per attack basis, because I think that as a per attack basis, it allows you to set up some like really cool or really high damage, really powerful vulnerable instances, but I think maybe it's better with, no, it's probably unbalanced is what I should say. Ugh, it's probably, ugh. Yeah, it's probably, ugh. It's probably unbalanced. in Slay the Spire, because you can constantly loop into dealing a whole bunch of vulnerability damage per turn, or just keep it going infinitely, and that's like the main issue of it, right? Okay, let's get rid of Anchor Drop. We don't need any more shield by Haru. Second method is really useful here. The best one by far, because I think counterattacks count as extra hits. Then I want to try get that lead card, which is an accessory. Unfortunately, I didn't get it. What is the map looking like? Where am I currently? Where am I? Where am I? Okay, we've still got an entire floor, but let's rest up here for now. Also, I've been thinking about, like, movies in general. I'm wondering if there's, like, some or any particular movie. What on earth? Twitch just bugged out, and somehow I have 0 followers and 0 viewers. Did it sign me out or something? I don't know, that would be kind of worrying. No, okay, it didn't. It didn't sign me out. I thought maybe my thing had borked a little bit. But yeah, I was thinking of, like, movies and whatnot as of late, and I'm wondering, like, if there's any good ones coming out that I should watch. I've been contemplating, not that I'm like much of a movie goer or cinema goer, but I kind of want to watch series, and I don't really know what one I want to watch, and then I don't know, there's so many questions when it comes to movies, maybe just because I'm really picky. Also, what on earth is with these stutters? I can't tell if it's like the server or something whenever it's trying to compute what I'm doing. So I'm a little bit at a loss there, but I don't know, this run is going pretty okay so far. I mean, at least with what I have now, I kind of want to get the Dominion cards. It would be good, but if I can get a kit that's like decent enough for Spiral Tower of Screams, then yeah, that should be fine. It's just that with the Dominion card, it really makes it easier to not have to rely on going all out on just like damage every single turn, so you can play a little bit more of a defensive strategy. Right now, I think the main issue with characters like Haru is that they really need to set up a whole bunch of cards and prep and whatever with like vulnerability when it gets to really high levels, since the enemies just become a bunch of damage sponges, and that makes it really difficult to play. So I don't know, if I can eventually get one of those cards like Dominion, then it would be way easier. But also, I don't like the mental break right now that I'm seemingly getting. Also, I just need to get rid of Water Arrow. Such a lame card. Okay, hopefully I can survive a little bit longer. I think I'll win, obviously, but I don't know. I don't think that I'll be able to survive or win when it comes to the Spiral Tower of Screams if I don't get something that's good enough. I do have a kit with Dominion in Magna's kit, but man, it's like not optimal. It's focused entirely, or focused a lot more around dealing damage, which is, it's okay, but it still works against me in a lot of cases, because some turns you just don't want to deal damage and I just want to build up counterattack stacks, and it would be really nice to get the retain shield item, because that would like absolutely help me a whole bunch. Nice, there we go, mental break averted. But, I don't know, I think I'll heal here. It should heal me up once I beat the boss, and that'll be fine. But yeah, movies-wise, I'm not sure what I look forward to. I kind of want to start another series, but I feel like I've watched so many anime as of late that it's hard to pick out something that I want to begin watching. Just something new, only because I've watched so many. But I think there are a couple on my backlog that eventually I'll get to. I don't have much in my movie backlog though, so I am like still looking for movies to begin watching. That's probably more difficult though, because again, like as I'm picky about what series I watch, I'm equally as picky about what movies I want to watch. And picking out movies, yeah, they're only a couple of hours, but like either going to the cinema, paying to rent them, etc., whatever the case may be, it feels like you've got way more of a commitment, and that I'm not sure of. Also, is it worth duplicating Frost Charge in this case? I'm not sure. If I was going to duplicate any card in Magna's deck, what would it be? The only downside I can see to this is if I'm going to play a lead card build, then I won't be able to activate this one, but I don't know, the amount of vulnerability stacks is probably better. Maybe I can bank off of the fact that I could get an event that allows me to copy one of her cards, so maybe this isn't that important. I just really wish it weren't Frost Charge, because that kind of sucks. At least it's kind of lame right now, just because I've changed it to an upgrade card rather than something like amazing. And because I'm going to be adding cards, I can't remember if the patch notes described that the first duplication was meant to be free or not, so I think I'll go with like Anchor Pointer in this case. I know that the Source of Water would have been good pretty as well, but or pretty good as well, not good pretty, whatever. I know it would have been pretty good as well, but considering the amount of card draw that I have currently, it's arguable. I'm not going to do this one. I don't need any of these artifacts, so here we'll play the lead card build on Magna, and then we'll try get the items so that hopefully this activates every single turn that I draw it, because I don't have a lot of draw cards, so just getting that would be kind of nuts. First I'm discarding, I think we'll go for Envy, just because more morale means faster battles, which means easy peasy. We're going to the Dimensional Portal, or whatever it was called, Dimensional Rift, etc, etc. I kind of want to do more elites, but it seems like top row kind of locks me into not doing that. And yeah, as I was saying about movies, whenever I'm trying to decide on a movie, it's more difficult, I think, than committing to something like an anime, because at least with like an anime, you can watch maybe a couple of episodes and then decide based off of that. It's more like watching pilots as opposed to committing or investing, and then you've always got the choice of there being more source material. For instance, if I was watching an anime, then you can begin to decide whether or not you want to watch the or read the manga, or if there's a light novel, and if that's the case, then you can, you know, consume them at your own time. Draw one, activate 2 cards. Power, okay, power charge not half bad. Tactical analysis, kind of bad. So, half and half, pretty good. At least it activated that one, so not overly bad. I was gonna be more worried if it didn't do that in the first place. Also, the amount of, like, counterattacks, kinda nuts. Anchor Pointer is a pull card, though. Actually, maybe I should have gone for Source of Water. Maybe that was a bad decision on my end. Whatever. So long as I can get like some good epiphanies on them, like I can add Retain or I can add Retrieve, I don't know, whatever it comes to the Power Shot or Anchor Shot, like usually you just want to be able to keep it in your hand for as much as possible. Also no attacks, never mind, I had an attack. I completely missed that card being in my hand. Gear Bag getting an upgrade, I don't know, I think we'll do Morale just because gaining 1 extra Morale since I'm not going to have the Dominion card is pretty okay. Then we're gonna go for the Dimensional Portal. But yeah, as I was saying with like movies, you don't have to commit as much time whenever you're watching an anime instead. So you can watch like the first 2 to 3 episodes, get some kind of idea as to whether or not you enjoy it, and then you can decide, okay, well, this isn't for me, or if it is for you, then you've got way more of the source material to go off of. But whenever it comes to watching movies, it feels like, well, you've paid, you've kind of got the sunk cost, you kind of want to watch it, and then you want to try finish it all the way through. And that's like more of the issue, I kind of think. Okay, actually, I didn't want to take that. Never mind, there doesn't really seem to be anything. Maybe I could do sadism, but I don't know if I want to reduce costs, so it's whatever. I think it's a little bit silly that some of the neutral cards are locked based on class. Like, I get it for some of them. You don't want to have or allow players to have certain cards, but I think some of them should be more general so that I can apply them to all of the characters. The fact that attack... that card specifically that allows me to reach into my draw deck and then take a card, an attack card. That kind of sucks as being completely exclusive, but whatever. Okay. So you don't have to commit nearly as much to when you watch an anime or something, or even when you read a book. Like, when you read a book, you only have to read maybe the first couple of chapters. Yeah, it does depend on how fast you read, but if all you're doing is trying to figure out whether or not it's something that you think is worth reading, then you don't actually have to spend as much time as you maybe would with a movie. And also, I feel like just the cost being a barrier to entry is probably one of the main factors or determining factors as to whether or not you should continue watching it. Latent Epiphany? Okay, I got Storm of Bitter Cold now. Would it have been better to get that as a duplicate? I don't know. Well, actually, yeah, because if I'm going to be running a lead build, then getting that duplicated would allow me to trigger 2 of it. So yeah, it's probably better in that sense. We can do tactical analysis, blessing of waves, and then just anchor. Oh, I have to select a card because it's going to give me an epiphany. I don't want the finale. The finale is kind of lame. We'll do blessing of waves with this one, then we'll do anchor shot here. But as for like anime, I guess there's the argument that whenever you want to read something, that it could take you longer to read it, and in that case, oh, is it actually worth reading it, or should I just like give up on it now because I've begun to invest so much time? And in that case, yeah, if you're a slow reader, maybe a movie might be worth it to you, but I think in most cases, the speed at which you read a novel and can pick up on whether or not you'll enjoy a novel is usually faster than the amount of time that it would take you to go through what is nowadays like a 2 to 2.5 hour long movie. I think that's another trend that I've begun to notice, that with movies, or at least pertaining to like most media, that series, movies, and a lot of like content, although we veer more towards like short form and everything, a lot more content is ending up becoming like longer, I think, as well. I think there's an incentivized way to create longer form content, and you notice this with movies, you notice this with like, I don't know, even K-dramas and some of the pilot episodes to animes and whatnot, that they've all become like slightly longer. At least, maybe this is just me though, but it's something that I feel like I've noticed over the past couple of months, maybe the past couple of years or so. But it feels really difficult now to try and find a movie that fits within like an hour to 2 hours. Most of the time, I just find movies that are like, oh yeah, it's gonna take you the entire evening to get through it. And this was, I know Lord of the Rings is a somewhat typical example of like movies that are really long, but it feels like it has justification towards it. It's otherwise feels like there's not much justification to some of the other movies or media or shows being as long as they are. Yeah, it's cool to get a lot of like action content. Yeah, it's cool to get more story, etc. But if it's not like important or integral to the main plot, is it something that I'm going to bother with as much? I don't know. That makes me feel like I'm going to be put off of it more, and that makes me think like, well, are parts of the movies filler, or are parts of the movie series filler? And I don't think anyone wants to have the feeling that what they're watching is filler or not, you know? Like, if I'm going to be investing my time into something, I should think of it as like, it's so good that I want to continue watching it, and that every part of it makes or has some kind of importance. Like, yeah, filler has its place in terms of either being fan service, just appealing generally. Maybe you've got it in form of like, I'm thinking in form of bringing more people into the show, like if you have a really good plot hook, or appealing to different demographics within your already existing demographic for those who watch the show. But if it's the case that you're going to add filler content which doesn't have substance, which doesn't appeal to any one of these, I don't know, are you just padding it out for no reason at all? I feel like there is this discrepancy. Like when you look at some of the older animes. Hello, welcome to the chat. And welcome to the stream. I'm just talking about my personal decision-making process when it comes to watching movies and anime. I was saying that, like, when it comes to watching movies, it feels like you've got a greater bar for investing your time into it as compared to something like a show or something like a book. So, yeah. Select and copy one card. Do I want to copy anything from Magna's deck? I'm not entirely sure. I could, actually, I could copy Ice Fragment, maybe. That gives me at least a little bit more morale, but I don't know if that's actually what I want to do. I could also do Ice Wall. I don't know. I don't think you can copy one of the forbidden cards, so that doesn't really matter to me. But maybe, let's see. I've got 80 Faint Memory on Magna currently. Then maybe the best choice is doing Ice Fragment. It's just, Yeah, I think because it's a lead that I should probably do that. So I'll copy my Ice Fragment one, that way that I can get some crystallization, and I can also get some morale and resolve, because some of the morale upgrades are really good. But yeah, what I was talking about, oh shit, did I just go to the wrong one? As I was talking about earlier, the bar for investment or entry into like some kind of movie franchise is just like way higher because it depends entirely on cost, right? But if you're going to be watching an anime, you can just start either with like a couple of episodes. I don't want any of these. You can start with like 1 or 2 to 3 episodes. It depends entirely on like what the premise of the show is or if there's going to be a plot twist. But when it comes to a movie, you're spending like on the ticket, you're spending on renting the movie, whatever it is, on whatever streaming platform, and then it feels like you've got a sunk cost, like, oh, is it really worth spending like 2 hours on something that I'm not sure I'm going to be enjoying? That's like kind of the dilemma, right? So I was saying that at least when it comes to anime, you can choose whether or not you want to step out within the first hour. Maybe with reading, if you're a slow reader, that's a little bit variable, but I think it's still faster. It still ends up being faster whether or not you determine, oh, this just isn't for me. And then maybe if a TV show or a movie version of it comes out, you can decide to yourself then, oh, this is worth watching or this isn't worth my time. Because I think one thing that's usually not acknowledged as much is that when you have a movie, you can kind of tell, depending on the storytelling of the movie, if it's something that you'll enjoy, which is something that's usually an integral factor towards whether or not you'll continue to read something as well. So I feel like if you begin to read something, you'll maybe tell by the way that it's written, by how the characters talk, by how much it focuses on things, and of course, like, you have your fan service or whatever as well, if it's something that you'll continue to invest time into. But with movies, because they've got like this bar to entry per se, and then like you've got reviewers, you've got more people, I think, that make critical analyses of movies in general, that it makes it a little bit more difficult to kind of generate an opinion with like beforehand, before you, or no, it's easier to generate an opinion beforehand, and it's harder as a result after to have a neutral opinion. And I feel like it's somewhat similar with games, but the style of how a developer makes a game is entirely dependent on how many people you have working on it. Like, if you were to pick... Oh my gosh, the screams Haru makes is, like, kind of jarring as I'm trying to explain. For instance, if you're playing something that's, like, made by, I don't know, the devs of Terraria or something, you might be able to tell that, oh, this 2D pixel art game is fairly similar to one of their previous games or something like that. But if you're picking between a AAA studio, like, maybe one of the ways that you could pick out or determine the ways that it was somehow related to the developers is based off of, like, similar elements. Like mechanics. Also, is damage reduction better or is retain shield better? I don't like that it exhausts. I think I'll go for damage reduction. You can kind of tell based on the elements, like how there's the joke about there being Ubisoft towers and whatnot, but besides that, there's no like stylistic component that necessarily makes something related to it, right? Like related to the company itself, without those mechanics. But if you go by Terraria, it might be the art style or something just inherent to some of the developers, and that I think is a little bit different. How much do I have? I think if I'm going to add a card to Magna here, because I tried to add belligerence, but I think that's going to be bad because of this now. So I think I'm going to go for money, and then money. And then I'll go to a store, and then I'll try get the lead card. I still haven't gotten that artifact, though. Hopefully I can get it here in the next one. And then, let's see. Oh, I have a choice of getting belligerence here, but I kind of want to remove a card. You have the choice. You have these elements that make it unique to whoever's designed it, and I feel like the more people you begin to add, the less creative art / vision or direction you have of where you want to go with a piece of media, so it becomes harder to identify who or what it was made by / from. And at this point, when you're talking about like AI as a topic, which is just like a completely separate beast to discuss, it ends up feeling like when you work with a really big studio or a gigantic team, you end up with an amalgam, and AI is a little bit of like this amalgam thing, where you end up, again, with just a massive combination of different ideas that doesn't have any distinct identity that you might otherwise have if you were to just pick up on, like, oh, this is a game made by me because it has like a whole bunch of magic in it or whatever. If you have an AI that does it, it would just like throw in a bunch of stuff. Or if you're working with a giant game studio, then 50 different people are like putting in different amounts of effort and like different amounts of quality into different parts of the game. And so that becomes hard to tell. So I feel like even in movies, it can be a little bit difficult. If you're not that big on directors, it might be really difficult to pick apart who was directing or doing something with a particular movie or franchise. And that I feel is like kind of difficult as well, or something that's often looked over, or overlooked, sorry. So, I don't know. I feel if that was maybe more of an expression in how some things are done or how people look at movies, that might have been good, but who's to say? It's mostly dependent on how much effort people are willing to put into like the media that they consume. And I feel like, as said, with longer form content that's becoming slightly more less popular nowadays, I think actually it's more like it's becoming dichotomous, so to speak. Like you don't end up with the same amounts of mid-length movies or videos anymore. Like if you compare how long YouTube videos used to be, which was around maybe like 10 minutes or so, like even Let's Plays used to be around 20 minutes, which I would say is like a medium length, about 20 minutes, let's say. If most YouTube videos back in the day were around 20 minutes, now they usually teeter on the edge of being around either 10 so that they hit the monetization mark, or they end up being video essays, which end up being like a couple of hours long. And in that case, you've now kind of demonstrated the exact thing that you're either flip-flopping between doing really long content or really short content. And yeah, I kind of get it. Also, I don't want to deal with this guy right now. So that's how I feel that's going. But as to whether or not it's a good or a bad thing, I'm not sure. I just don't like the fact that if I'm trying to look for a movie and I'm spending like 2 hours trying to decide on what's a good investment of my time, and that investment ends up being like, I don't know, 3 hours of me searching for a movie and never watching a movie to begin with, because now I've just like spent that much time looking for something, and it's going to take me like 2.5 hours to then, even once I've watched it, am I actually going to enjoy it? I don't know. If I started an anime or something like that, and I'm thinking to myself like, oh, I don't actually enjoy this, then I can just immediately stop after the second or third episode, and that's perfectly fine. Also, is this going to trigger... Yeah, okay, I want to trigger one epiphany to a card. This is probably going to be a really difficult battle, though. I've not actually beaten this battle before, I think. It's so difficult because it drains your health right before, and then it has you battling these guys. I don't know, that's kind of nuts. I think I will do a little bit of a heal for damage reduction here. So yeah, time investments, really difficult. And I feel like that's a major topic of discussion when it comes to something like games as well, right? Like, when it comes to games, a lot of people will say, and this is another thing, whether or not we're going in this dichotomous direction of, oh, games should be longer in length or games should be shorter in length, what is more value for your time and your money, etc. I feel like it's not fully determined. I didn't use Ice Wall. I am so dumb. It's really hard to determine this because it's very variable, I think, is the main issue behind it, right? But let's say you're playing an RPG, people will say or guesstimate that the amount of time that you should be spending on an RPG to determine whether or not it's something that you actually want to watch is more like in the tens of hours, approximately, kind of. But if it's something that's like a roguelike, which is probably one of my favorite genres of all time, then maybe they'll guesstimate that you want to spend like 10 hours because you're going to be playing with that like initial loop or whatever in the beginning. So it's kind of difficult to determine, but at the same time, I get it. Everything should have their own dependence on how much you play or how much you want to play, or whether or not it's a genre that requires the amount of time investment. I just think that it's not always suitable for everyone, and then, of course, like, no genre is suitable for everyone, so to speak. They try to make it and tailor it to be suitable for everyone, but of course you're never going to achieve that, like, in 100% of cases at least. So, I don't know, are games going in this direction of oh, you have to play 100 hours now. I mean, a lot of games nowadays are becoming a live service, so that's probably a factor to be considerate for, but most games as well never really allowed or accepted, per se, updates post-shipment. So even for like games that had to be run off of cartridges or discs or whatever, you could never really update them as easily, and so you end up in situations where if you just had a buggy product on release, that would basically sink you. And if you were thinking about what I said, then you would also know that because of live service games, now you can patch games to fix said imperfections. You should make this talk into a video and post it on YouTube. I'm not sure. Maybe. I'm just like speaking off the top of my mind. I don't know if it's something that people actually find enjoyable or whatever, in terms of like it being short form content. Maybe I could split this up into like a video or something like that with my just commentary in the background. But it's just me like half talking shit at the same time. So are games going in that direction? I'm not entirely sure. They are becoming more, oh, very nice. They are becoming more live service focused, and I think that's what's meant to keep people hooked. I notice that a lot of games as well are attempting to focus more on player retention as a factor into their player stats, because now it's less about like, oh, how much did people enjoy your game, and now it's more of a focus on how long did you manage to retain those players and what did the player numbers look like. How is it possible that I didn't get the lead card a single time shuffling every single one of these stores? This is insane. This was such a bad run. It was very mediocre. Oh my gosh. Maybe I want to go for Crimson Sword here. I mean, Haru just has like nothing on her. We could do a remove card, and then I think I'll get rid of Water Arrow, and that will maybe save me some pain down the line for this boss. But yeah. So yeah, more games have become live service, but then, I don't know, again, speaking in terms of identity towards games, whether or not you can say an art style persists as a result of the developers being a major influence or a major part of it, it really doesn't feel like it, because when live service happens, you always have to assume that there's going to be a deadline, a starting point, and an end point to when a developer is working on a team, and therefore, as a result, you don't know how long they're going to stick with said team. And if you're going to talk about, let's say, artists in particular, or even developers for whether or not they want to implement a certain mechanic or a particular mechanic, then you end up in a situation where it's like, okay, these things really defined the game at the beginning, but now as a result that this one developer is gone, these mechanics are not going to be implemented in future iterations, so how much of the original identity will a live service game have once it reaches a certain age, so to speak? And that's really difficult to determine. Obviously, it's not like anything that can have a particular answer, either 1 or 2 for, but it can have many answers as to why that's the case, but that's a little bit dependent on studio, of course, and I don't know, maybe it's like something that they've already considered, and this is not a unique thought. I mean, no unique thoughts after the Greek philosophers, right? They took all the easy ones. They took all the easy ideas, like saying, yeah, humans aren't chickens, but I digress a little bit. So whether or not a game stays fairly unique to its identity from the beginning, even though they've kind of shipped the Theseus all their devs out, I'm not sure. Maybe they do retain that identity through having like multiple meetings to refocus and whatnot, but I'm not entirely like fussed on the idea that that's actually the case. I think that if you manage to retain an entire dev team through its entire life cycle, that yeah, they'll probably stick through and stick with what the game looks like and therefore retain its identity. But if you weren't to do that, is it really that big of an issue if people continue to play it? Maybe, if you don't appeal to the original demographic, like if people started playing a game for an original or intended purpose, and you suddenly shift away from that because now your game is deciding to focus on battle royale mechanics instead of focusing on like, oh, my RPG game now has roguelike and battle royale mechanics, and you lose your original audience, but you somehow gain more as a result of it because you've got that whole like IP background, like, oh, my game super mega awesome fighter or whatever. I don't know, terrible name, but you get the idea. Any game that just had an identity to begin with, that then decides it wants to take a shift in direction, and then it uses its IP as a platform to then become more popular. I'm not sure if that still counts as being good, that it managed to survive even throughout changing its identity to that point. So is that something people are concerned with? Maybe. I guess the original people would be. But if it's a gradual shift that happens over time, it's a little bit like boiling frog in water, or a frog in water, unless you want to boil multiple. Don't know why, you freak. But if you were to do that, then at least people become adjusted and they continue to play your game, even though it's completely changed. So, who knows. At least in my personal opinion, I kind of like when a game sticks to its original intention, but it builds complexity off of it. So if I'm using Chaos Zero Nightmare as an example, then I would probably say it in its original stages is probably going to look a lot more like Slay the Spire than it will in its future updates, and I think we're going to be seeing that maybe tomorrow with the live stream. As said, I'll probably be doing another stream like either right before or right after or during it's happening to be able to discuss and talk a little bit about it. Also, I'm going to reset this just because I've got my level 122 here, but I didn't do so good at it, so I'm just trying to make a good kit for some farming stuff, because I've just not done well with epiphanies. We'll do this one because it's tier 10, and we're going to run this again, because my Spiral Tower of Screams run have not been going that well. So I'm trying to get the Dominion monster card. But if Chaos Zero Nightmare is to change in the future, I just hope that it retains some of its original identity in that sense. I do think that they can expand on a whole bunch of mechanics without changing how its identity works, and that's obviously like a really big question if or how the identity is going to change depending on how much you remove, because if you're going to pull a Ship of Theseus situation where your game is going to change drastically from like the beginning of its first year to its last year, and hopefully there is no last year, but we'll see. Give me just a couple of seconds to think of how I want to plan this route. If I go all the way along the bottom because I want to hit a couple of the elites, I'll do this one, this one, this one. Yeah, basically just follow along the bottom and then go up top. Okay, yeah. So if Chaos Zero Nightmare is to change a little bit of how its identity is in the future, I think they're going to be doing that more through cards, but also the equipment seems to be very RPG focused. Not that I'm averse to it, in fact I like that more. I think that's why I really enjoy this game, probably more than Slay the Spire, because there are so many factors that you can use to influence your runs. Say for instance, if you weren't doing really high level challenges in the beginning and then you build up gear, you get the, what was it called, memory fragments or whatever, to increase like your passives and change how you play as some of the characters. I think that's a really good way of incentivizing, because my main issue that I had with Slay the Spire, I did revisit it, I did a little bit of a stream talking about it, but I think one of the main issues with it is that it feels like most of the time you were, yeah, it's the oh my gosh, what do I pick? I'll go for this one. Most of the time, it is the case where roguelites will be a little bit dependent on luck and so on, but sometimes when I was playing through that, it was a little bit brutal when it came to the luck towards it, so it felt like I didn't really have influence of how I wanted my deck to look at the end of it. Whereas in this, I can still influence what I want it to look like, and I can still build a character in a particular direction. So I'm wondering what Slay the Spire 2 might look like. Oh my gosh, don't look at how badly I'm failing these rolls. Only took me 4 tries. Wow, I'm not good at rolling dice, I suppose. I guess that's why I love gambling, because I'm just... Did you know that 99% of gamblers are just one step away, just one roll away from their big win? Yeah, my story. So it was kind of hard to get back into Slay the Spire after having tried out or playing a lot of Chaos Zero Nightmare because of the RPG mechanics just being there. And so I feel like if I were to improve on Slay the Spire, maybe I'd add something like that. But, you know, maybe it's just not for me because of how much it's changed and the, at least how much my taste and preferences have changed. So if, and that goes back to the question of live service games having updates that change fundamentally how the game works, or maybe adds complexity to the fundamentals of how the game worked. In that case, does the audience then grow accustomed to it just because they were introduced in a game, or do they grow adjusted to it because they begin to enjoy it, or do they enjoy it more because of the addition? Like, that I'm not sure of, but with Chaos Zero Nightmare, I think because of all the RPG mechanics, it feels more interesting because you're building not only for just like one strict boss by the end of it. Like, let's say in Slay the Spire, because you technically only have 2 floors, or was it 3 floors? I already forgot. You have 3 floors, and then you've got 1 boss on each. Yeah, you've got 3 floors. You've got 3 floors, and then you've got like 2 bosses on each, so you don't know what you're going to expect when you come up to it, so it can feel like, oh, I'm building a deck that loops through, like I use Battle Trance or whatever to get through my entire deck, and draw 4 cards every single turn. But then you get up to the Time Warden or whatever, and he's just like, oh yeah, by the way, if you use more than 10 cards, I just instantly end your turn and whack the shit out of you. Like, okay, that's not what I was expecting, and that just completely counters my build, like 100%. And I feel like that was one of the issues that I had with it, that some runs could just be entirely dependent on whether or not you got lucky with which boss you rolled. So not so much the actual events, but the elites and the bosses, they were just like way more difficult than what I remembered. And to be fair, I'm not actually like amazing or anything at Slay the Spire, so maybe it's not like in my place to speak about it, or in terms of like what endgame content looks like. But at least when it comes to endgame content in Chaos Zero Nightmare, I was able to, or I am, I should say, because I am doing like endgame content. Maybe not now as I'm like grinding, but in terms of the fact that I'm grinding for endgame content now by trying to get a good deck, I think is a little bit indicative that I am at endgame content. So I think in that sense, the fact that I have the ability to more or less influence where and how I want to build my characters, what I need them to fulfill in their roles, and that I have some control over it, especially with the next updates coming out, to how I'm going to build those characters. I think that's like an important part of replayability. So even though I'm not like getting the optimal amount on my builds, I've still got this incentive that because I'm getting fairly close, I'm just like one step away still to getting the perfect deck. And like sometimes I'll get slight variations of the perfect deck, and I think that's like what kind of keeps you coming back to it. Of course, it's like a player retention thing as well, but it's also just a factor that I really like about roguelikes, to influence how I play in order to try produce the most optimal outcome. And having RPG mechanics, I think, aids this in the sense that because I can focus on stats, even if I don't get an optimal outcome, even if I don't get the exact cards that I need, I'm still working towards that inevitable, let's say, goal of having, let's say, Magna be not only focused on defense, but also focus a lot on shielding and then the morale building, so I can deal more damage with my other units, or so at least it can facilitate that damage between my other units. So yeah, maybe I've been like babbling for so long about this that this is ending up becoming a boring topic, but I think it's something that's really interesting to me. Mostly because there's so much that goes into game design, and like even as this new stream is coming out tomorrow, I feel like with the I reckon that we'll get a survey asking whether or not it's something we're looking forward to, or how the players will enjoy the mechanics. That's going to be pretty important to them as well. I mean, they did listen to the rewriting of the first act of the story, as well as the subsequent events that would come after it. And I think it was a little bit noticeable with Narya's story, especially, or her trauma code. So I guess we'll see how the next ones turn out. I'm interested as well, which is kind of... it's not new, because I really do like the story to Nikke, for instance. I'm really interested in the story for how it's going to work out in events specifically. I can't say that the main story has fully like convinced me, but I do enjoy it. It's just maybe not entirely my thing, because it hasn't been like hooking as much as I would hope it would be. Oh, I thought I ended my turn. So I don't know, what's everyone's thoughts on like what maybe I've said. I know it's like what 70 different bullet points that maybe I've gone over, like the whole ship of Theseus stuff, but I don't know, I'm always curious to like hear of what other people think about this, because maybe I've spent so much time in like my roguelike deck builder or deck building hole that I just haven't heard many other opinions on what it's like. Or even the previous topic of the of investment or level of investment that you have towards watching movies or long form / short form content. So that I can't really speak on for other people, but at least when I notice in some forms of analytics, whenever I look at other channels and how they do, it's interesting at least to take note of that short form content usually brings in people initially, but never really retains or holds them for longer than that, unless you're, I don't know, posting a whole bunch of it. But I don't know if I can make a whole bunch of banger videos like every single day, every single time. So instead, I'm just putting my mind to grinding the stream just because I like playing games, so I may as well. Finding time in between that to like edit stuff, I don't know. I've still got my schedule and whatever graphics to work on, but yeah, I'll post those eventually. Hopefully that should be done for next week, and then I've got that done. Yeah, but we'll see how the stream tomorrow goes, and in that case, I'll either make a video on it. I spoke a little bit about it, and then it was recommended to me that, oh, you should make a video on what your thoughts are, and then create some kind of like bite-sized content depending on how long the video is. So maybe I'll do something like that. I've already begun the process of cropping or clipping some parts of my streams to make interesting content. I'm peeling potatoes as I listen. Nice. I hope you don't accidentally cut your finger or anything like that, but peeling potatoes as you listen, I guess maybe I'm just good potato peeling audio background noise. Maybe I'm good ambience for potato peeling. But are you preparing any particular dish, or what are you preparing that requires peeling potatoes? Just mash? I don't know. When it comes to something like mash, I really love sweet potatoes more than I like regular potatoes, but I do have a really big sweet tooth, so honestly, I think I could just use sweet potatoes over every other case of regular potatoes. I'm just a little bit, and by a little bit, I mean extremely biased when it comes to sweet potatoes. They're just so good. As a complex carb, it's also really healthy. It's got so much fiber. It makes me want to eat it more. It tastes sweet. It works with so many sauces. I don't know. Like, okay, nice. I don't know. I just want to eat more sweet potatoes. I think that's the general gist of it. If I could eat more sweet potatoes, then I would be eating more sweet potatoes. Fries for tomorrow's breakfast. Yeah? Are you gonna then refrigerate it? One thing that I learned recently, or I say recently, but this usually came as like a result of months ago, and I've just only now begun to apply it, is making starch-resistant foods. Is that whenever you make something that has starch in it, such as potatoes or rice or pasta, that you can just put it in your fridge overnight, and if you make it, I think it was with coconut oil or some kind of fat, that it increases like the efficacy of starch resistance, but starch resistance essentially cuts down the amount of calories in that food by approximately 50%, something like that. So it's actually really good to refrigerate foods overnight, and then if you want it to taste, it is a little bit of a difficulty with making the same consistency. Like, oh, if you make rice, refrigerate it, and then it becomes like sticky or gooey, or maybe it just dries out a bit. You can always like steam something to bring it back to that point, but the whole point with starch-resistant foods is mostly the calorie reduction and the, was it the long glucose chains? I could be wrong. I don't entirely remember what the chemical processes, but you probably didn't come here for the chemical process of starch breakdowns and whatnot. Oh, as an upgrade, that's probably better, because then I can do it. Yeah, that's what I do. Yeah, exactly. I don't know, I've begun to do that a lot more now, so I always prepare all of my starch-based foods the evening before, and then I just constantly cycle through it. I have tried to do a little bit more of meal prep, but I do just kind of like cooking, so it's, I don't know, it's nice, and I can either listen to music or sing along to music and watch videos at the same time. When there's an attack, when there's an enemy whose anticipated action is attack, 60% shield. I don't know, I want to do Epiphany, I think. So I've begun doing that more often, and I feel like that's given me a lot more free time, because one of the issues that I have since I really like cooking, or end up cooking a lot, is, especially when it comes to really high volume meals, right, is that if you have a lot of high volume meals, you end up cooking a whole bunch anyway. So I figured I may as well make like a whole bunch of Tupperwares with just all of the food that I could need for the entire week. Sing now? No, I refuse. Maybe another time. Perhaps I will sing another time. But now is not that time. Otherwise, if I'm like playing Devil May Cry and I do the ooh thing, then that's, you know, different, but that's not the exact same thing. So let's get rid of this. Maybe I want to try get rid of something else. What's Magna's faint memory looking like? It's only at 20. I could probably remove something else. I don't know if it's worth getting rid of Frost Shield. I mean, I'm gonna have a lot of upgrades, and then, you know, I feel like that's another thing that I really liked about Slay the Spire, is that there was more upgrades towards the basic cards. So it wasn't that bad to have a bunch of basic cards in your deck, because I feel like this is a little bit of an issue to just have all of these basic ones. I don't at least want this one, for instance, so I just get rid of it. But also, can I please get that lead card? Okay, never mind. I'm not going to be able to get it. It's been how many runs now? I think this is my 3rd run where I've just not gotten that lead card artifact, where it activates a random lead card in your hand at the start of a turn. So, little bit sucky, little bit sucky. We'll activate this one, and... yo, what up, peeps? Yo, how's it going? It's been a while, Kirigami. How have you been? How are things? I've just been talking about like 50 different topics in the speed of like half an hour. I can't stop myself. I can't stop babbling and talking all the time. I was just talking about like the I don't know if I can list it in like chronological order, but I was talking about what the level of investment is, or the bar of time investment is for movies, books, and games. Yes, as usual, you'll have only 6 viewers. Yeah, but, you know, eventually I'll get to that point, right? Like, eventually I'll have more people active, and then it's not just people feeling embarrassed about, like, being the first one to talk or break the silence or something like that. So, you know, we're getting to that point. Sister. Yeah. It's Kaya as well. She's always here. She sticks around in the streams. I've otherwise been streaming like a little bit of Devil May Cry, and then I streamed like 1 day of Hytale. I figured that the Hytale ones don't do so well, so I'm playing mostly for myself. It's like my guilty pleasure in that sense, but you know, I do play a lot of Chaos Era Nightmare on my free time otherwise, so I was like, you know, since it's one of those games that I can just kind of play without really having to, not necessarily concern myself, so to speak, but one of the games that I can play while thinking and speaking at the same time, it's not so difficult to hold multiple points of conversation, and I think if I was playing it any more than what I am currently, what's it called? If I played it any more than I was currently, then I would probably run out of topics inevitably. I actually kind of have to tell you something where our child has been a lie. It shocked me and broke me. Oh my gosh. Why? What happened? Now I'm interested to hear. Is my life a lie up until this point? I don't know. All this time I've spent being born and raised on the internet ley lines, and I'm just now finding out that what I've done is a lie? Oh well, maybe I'll find out tomorrow during the stream as well, where all of my hopes get dashed when they nerf all of my favorite characters. But Tressa's gonna get nerfed a bit. Well, she's also gonna get a buff in different ways, and then they were gonna do the same thing with Cassius. So we'll see how people react to that. I made a little bit of a post about it, but I think it's not that bad. I actually think it might be okay. We'll see. It is obviously a little bit variable, because whether or not it's something good depends entirely on the content that they make proceeding it. Yeah, if they make good content proceeding it, then we'll see how that works out. This is probably going to be an artifact that I'll get rid of. So yeah, what they're gonna reveal, I'm not sure. I am looking forward to 9, and that'll depend, or rather decide whether or not I'll roll for Narya. So Yeah. What's the thing though? What's the thing that's going to ruin my childhood or imply that my childhood is a lie? I don't want to. Maybe I shouldn't ask, but it turns out our favorite childhood show, SpongeBob SquarePants, is based on Jeffrey Epstein. I don't know about that one. I can't say I know that to be the case. That seems a little bit out there. So don't know. But yeah, I mean, there's been a lot of news about that, but it's probably not something that I will or want to get into. Bro, it's all a lie now. To be honest, I never really was raised on like cartoons or anything. I started off fairly early with watching anime when I was younger, and so what I would end up doing, because I didn't have like direct access to it, was I would end up seeing snippets of it on like various forums or pages or whatever, and then I would end up watching parts of it through like YouTube. I mean, really, really old stuff here, where it was all in the beginning of just trying to find clips of anime where it could possibly exist, because it just wasn't available to me otherwise. I mean, even when I tried to look for movies, couldn't find it. I think the first one I ended up watching, though, was Spirited Away. Man, I love the Ghibli movies. They're so good. But cartoons in general, yeah, I didn't actually watch all that many. I'm trying to think of the ones that maybe stuck out the most to me, but Nickelodeon stuff was more common, at least, and dear God, my childhood show turned me into a lie, bro. I'm so sorry to hear that for you, man. I know it's rough. You'll get through it eventually. Maybe your next 10 pull in Chaos Zero Nightmare will give you like 5 stars, and you'll feel happier then. I hope so, man. I hope so. But not all is lost, at least not for now. So don't lose hope. Inevitably, though, there'll always be more shows, I guess, and hopefully those appeal to you. But yeah, I mean, I've already pulled Narya long ago. Yeah, but I'm meaning for the next characters and whatnot. Like, for instance, 9, who's the next one. Then after that, I don't know who else is showing up. The leaks are now, like, out of order, so I can't know. I remember reading, and it was saying it would be Yuki and then Sereniel, and that was at least guaranteed, but now that it's 9, I've no clue. They did say that 9 was going to be good for Narya as well, so we'll see how much that plays into each other's benefit. Or if it's just bait to try and get you the roll. Hopefully they release or show some of the cards / kits before I have to make a decision on whether or not I want to roll for Narya. It's just, if I do roll for Narya, that's an entirely new character that I'm going to have to invest so many points and abilities into, and I don't know. I don't know how much I can afford to invest into an entirely new character. Like, just doing the 1 month 1 character or 3 weeks 1 character to invest into, it's still so much. Like, it is a lot of resources. The only character that I've ended up, like, somewhat maxing out has been Reen. Wait, is it Reen or is it Ray? No, Reen. Reen is the black-haired one. Reen's kit is just not, like, amazing, but I really wanted to invest into her because she's one of my favorites, or she is my favorite. So that's, and I still haven't fully built or decked out everything. You know what's the more shocking part? The Nickelodeon sign logo is the exact same. I don't know if that's the case. I would have to see them side by side. I've not seen that whatsoever. So I guess with time comes new information. But yeah, I don't know. Wait, what's this? All combat Angel Trial? I don't think I've ever seen this one, and it required a card as well to do. Okay, is this a Trumpet of Revelation? When drawing a card, plus 20% damage. All stress. Okay. Well, actually, I'd rather just repent. Hopefully, yeah. Okay. Unfortunate that I'm just gonna use this one, but unfortunate that I couldn't get like a Divine Epiphany. I think I'll do all enemies, because all enemies would actually be really sick. I could get like a bunch, but also cannot exceed maximum of 20% HP. A little bit of a limiter, but honestly not that bad for Magna just in general to be generating more shield. I think, no, it was the last run that I managed to get 2 stacks or 2 buffs of fortification. Then yeah, we'll do the tunnel here. I'm hoping that I can get at least like a couple more cards, or a couple more epiphany upgrades, like divine ones. I really haven't got a whole lot of faint memory used up, but oh yeah, on topic of childhood cartoons, no, mine was mostly anime, and it was mostly like some shows. I didn't actually grow up with a lot of the typical anime though. I think the first one I watched after watching Spirited Away ended up being, I think it was either Full Metal Alchemist or it was Gurren Lagann. I think it was one of those two. There might also be the case where I've like watched more than just those in the beginning or before I even realized what anime was, but I don't know. Also, what is the point of this? Draw 1 on a finale? Yeah, so I can end my turn with an extra card being discarded? That kind of sucks. Let's do this one so I can build up more wave. Then Frost Charge, then Water Arrow? Okay, no, something's happening. I think he's gonna hit me and he's gonna die because of all the counterattacks. Yeah, lol. Nice. Didn't even have to do anything. Turn ended. Okay. Initiation card is enhanced tenacity damage. I honestly don't know if that artifact even works. That tenacity damage bonus doesn't seem to do a whole lot. It just feels like I throw that onto a character just for stat padding. I'll do Deluge, then Bitterstorm of Cold, and then Water Arrow. As for games that are coming out, I did speak a little bit. Simpsons was right. What was Simpsons right about? As for games that are coming out, yeah, it's mostly just... Actually, it's mostly just gacha games. It's mostly gacha games that I'm looking forward to. As well as, like, Slay the Spire 2, and maybe updates for games that exist already. Like, I had a conversation before you were here, Kirigami, that when it comes to games that are live service, it's a little bit of a ship of Theseus situation where sometimes the identity of a game can change completely over the course of its development cycle. And one part to that is that if a game changes or adds onto its fundamentals, does it still end up being the same game, even if those fundamentals might end up changing later? Like, it depends on how much, right? Because it's still got the essence of maybe the game that was originally tied to. But yeah, I'm thinking that at least for Chaos Zero Nightmare, I'm looking way forward to all of its updates and all of the content that will be added for it. And then there are a couple of other like roguelike / roguelite games that I'm looking forward to in that regard as well. Something like Ellen is also really good, top-down isometric roguelite game. And that one's still getting updates. It's still in early access, but does early access count towards as being like partly live service? I really have no clue. I just think that it's a part of kind of player retention, kind of wanting to support and everything. Reduce the card of this cost by 1. Wasn't this the same as that I had last time? So yeah, I think that when it comes to like games changing their identity over time by virtue of them being a live service game, some of them, like roguelites, that get updates over time that change them. I wouldn't say that all of them fundamentally change what they are because it is the Ship of Theseus situation. You can still make the argument that they're still somewhat the same, or at least related in that sense, like with how Binding of Isaac got its DLCs and whatnot. But did Binding of Isaac, because of how it added those DLCs or added some more mechanics and implementations, did that really change fundamentally how it was played? Well, comparing like the original version of the Binding of Isaac, which was on Newgrounds, I think, that version of it was like wildly different. Also, it was made in Java, I think, and didn't have pixel graphics whatsoever, so it played really differently, and it was also kind of laggy. Not the best, but the idea. I think that's one thing as well, that like if an original idea or a concept to a game, even if it gets like a whole bunch of live service updates or it gets a whole bunch of DLCs that kind of change how things work, even if it's something like adding DLCs that not change the gameplay, but they add so much variance by having so much more content. Like, think of the Total War games. You might play Total War and have none of the DLCs, but once you get the DLCs, it like really, really changes how you would actually play the game, because now you have to encounter different factions, or you have to deal with different factions, and in cases like that, it, I think, can make the game feel really different or not the same, like it's a completely different game. If the action count is 5 or more, I think I'm gonna throw this on Haru. That's a really good card for Haru. Oops, ow. Dropped something and then I hit my fingers. I'm going insane. So, yeah. I think, at least, therefore I am. But live service games, I don't know, I've got a little bit of a mixed opinion on live service games, because I think that they can be done really well, and I think that sometimes they can be done poorly, and most of the time, I don't know, maybe I'm really selective in what games I end up picking, but I don't think the live service games that I end up picking are actually all that bad. So I quite enjoy a lot of them. Don't hurt yourself, silly wizard. Yeah, I don't know, I'm a little bit of a klutz, so like, I dropped something. I've got something to fiddle around with in my left hand that's currently free and not playing the game. So even while I'm talking, I'm fiddling with like a rubber band in my left hand, and I'm playing this at the same time. I don't know, I'm on something different. But yeah, live service games, if they do updates, if they provide them, let's say, for free, because they are live service and you want to support them, I don't see anything wrong with that, but also I don't think that it's a bad thing. I think that it's fine to do so, obviously. It's just that sometimes when it gets to live service games, they always assume that you can release a half-baked product and then make it good later. It's seen like a couple of times, I think, that people will release a game and then it won't be that good, and then they'll think, oh, but I can fix it later. But in attempting to fix it later, it just ends up making it worse. Or people give up before they get the chance to fix it later. And then you end up, once again, in this, like, ship of Theseus but with devs situation where, yeah, you could get, like, the original devs or whatever to work on it, but maybe they've just all jumped ship and then you now have to start from, like, not scratch, but you do have to rethink your workflow, because now you don't have the original devs and now the game will end up looking differently just because you'll have different devs working on it. So I'm not sure. Again, maybe all of these topics, maybe all of these things that I rant about or go on about should go into their own dedicated video, but who knows at this point. I'm so familiar with talking to myself that talking to myself for like 2 or 3 hours straight isn't really much different from what I'm doing already. So doesn't really matter. Also, this run is like looking half good. I want to say it's looking good, but honestly, it's not giving me any divine epiphanies, and it's also not giving me any of the actual items that I want to use. We'll have to see as well how much this overextends. So I'm not sure, because usually my streams will last me like. Also, don't know why it's stuttering there. It must be like a PC port thing, because this works fine otherwise. Or maybe it's because I'm streaming. I've really got no clue. What's it called? So, usually I stream for like 2 hours. I stream every day, by the way. Thanks. Wow. Smiles? Feel free to follow me. Hit that like button, hit subscribe, and you'll see more awesome content like this in your inbox. Regardless, like, even though I also Augur Rondell, bro, where have you been, bro? I've been waiting for your ass to stream on Twitch, but I wouldn't find you. I stream every day. What do you mean? I'm always here, always at like same / somewhat similar time. It's what is it? Is it like, I would have to double check what it is in GMT, but it's 3 p.m. EST during weekdays, and then it's 12 p.m. EST on weekends. I stream every single day otherwise. I don't find you on Chaos Zero Nightmare. Oh, yeah. No, I do Chaos Zero Nightmare on weekends, because I talk so much that I think this is like a really good game for me to talk as much as I do. And because of that, I think that I would like run out of topics. Maybe I'm over concerned about it, but I think I would end up running out of topics just by virtue of how much I talk and how fast I talk whenever I play Chaos Zero Nightmare. So I play it on weekends because it gives me a chance to interact with the community and to talk about the different things that I've been doing over the week, and even about some of the other streams or upcoming plans that I have for what I want to do. Otherwise, for the past week, I've been, yeah, I don't even know what else you play. Yeah, I play, for instance, Devil May Cry 3. I've been doing a full playthrough of that. Maybe I'll go back to the old games, but I've already played like some of the old games. I still suck at those games. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday I did, or well, not this Wednesday. I was unfortunately unable to stream. It broke my streak, actually. I was trying to stream every single day, but it broke my perfect record so far. Oh my gosh, Haru, screaming. Yeah, so what is the day for you right now? Is it Saturday? Yeah, it's Saturday currently. But I do Devil May Cry, and I do a bit of Hytale as well. Though how long I stream them all is always a minimum of 2 hours, but if I either swap up my schedule, I'm trying not to, I don't want to, I write down my schedule of what I play every single day, or for that week. Okay, so tomorrow what will you play? Chaos Zero Nightmare. Weekend is always Chaos Zero Nightmare because it gives me a lot of time to talk. What the fuck, I thought it was Friday? No, it's Saturday. What on earth? What calendar are you going by? Chaos Zero Nightmare lets me talk, lets me kind of chat shit all the time. And then also, oh my gosh, her screams. Haru, chill. Lets me focus on chat at the same time as I play. Then Monday to Friday, I'll play like some real quote-unquote games, as people want to call it. Even though gacha games are real games. I like Chaos Zero Nightmare. Chaos Zero Nightmare is a real game. Wow, can you believe it, guys? Yeah, so I play that. Augur Rondell is Asian. I won't disclose where I'm from. Sorry. But yeah, I do play Devil May Cry, and probably next, I'm thinking, what should I play next? Maybe I'll do, I'll probably play Devil May Cry 4, maybe play 5, yeah, of course, like, after that comes that. But then, even though I'm playing a little bit of Hytale, I don't know what the, like, overall interest is in it, because sometimes I'll play things just for fun. And after that, I was wanting to do some emulated playthroughs of other, like, really old games that I'm pretty sure very few others have actually played. Arknight's Enfield, play that. Yeah, I played a little bit of Enfield, actually. I streamed it not too long ago. The only thing was that I was encountering so much dialogue, and like attempting to stream while reading through that much dialogue felt really difficult because I'm having to both pay attention to what the characters are saying and then play. So one of the main issues that I was having was that in attempting to read dialogue and play the game at the same time, I really wanted to get immersed in the world, and as a result, I wasn't paying as much attention to chat, and I feel like that's a little bit of a disservice to you guys, that I'm not, you know, talking as much, or I'm not being as entertaining with my clown nose and like gags and gaffs and whatever. So I'm like not avoidant of it per se, but I don't want to take away from the fact that I am here to like entertain and to like make a fun time out of things. So that's like the main reason why I decided to not really stick around with it. So even though I play a little bit of it in my free time, my main focus whenever I'm streaming is to entertain. So if it's a case of like, oh, you would actually be entertained by doing it, or me streaming it rather, or if it were a case of like another game being entertaining enough that you would want to see me stream it, then feel free to pitch those. So he's a wizard who belongs in a magical world. Yeah, I'm in a magical world. I'm streaming from my wizard orb right now onto the ley lines. All right, to make things interesting, I'll crack some jokes. Feel free to crack as many as you want. Even if it's the same joke 25 times, if people get bored, keep making them and I'll time you out. No, I'm joking. I would never do that. Cross my fingers, and that's it. But yeah, I don't know, making jokes, being entertaining, that's like the whole point of these streams to me, so I do really want and hope that they are entertaining to listen to, or at least watch along with. Why can't England win at chess? I've no clue. Why can't they win at chess? Kirigami. Though, I don't know. Actually, I don't know where chess was invented. Because they lost the queen. Ooh. Ooh. Ow. Yeah, they did. More than once. So I guess they've lost chess a couple of times. Oh man, I feel like I should get rid of a card, but I don't know what I should get rid of. I kind of want to get rid of Lift Anchor. But no, actually I'll get rid of this one. And then I've got one more store to try and get that lead card, and that's probably it. And then, yeah, as I was saying, if I were to play something else, why can't New York win at chess anymore? I know what this one's gonna be, but I'll let you take it. Why? Why can't they win at chess anymore? I think because they... no, I won't spoil it. I won't spoil it. I think I know. I think I know. I'm very fond of dad jokes and the like. But also, like, yeah, because they lost the Twin Towers, yeah. They can't tower anymore. So they can't move their, I could be wrong. Towering was whenever you swapped positions with the king and the... They're called towers. Bishops? Maybe. I think so. Possibly, potentially. Maybe, perhaps. Oh, how do Americans count? With numbers. How do they count? Do tell. I like that this is just becoming a chance for stand-up comedy now, so we can all have the chance to listen to some of this. Oh yeah, I know one more game that I wanted to do. I wanted to do, yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 11, yeah. They skipped over a number somewhere. But one of the things that I did want to stream was I wanted to stream RimWorld. I think RimWorld would be a really fun one, and then I could name some of the characters, some of the... seriously, I'm still not getting that one item. How is this possible? I've gone through like 5 shops, refreshing the entire thing. Still none of the activate lead cards. Oh my gosh. This sucks. Okay. Let's add damage amount. And I think that's kind of it. Maybe I just remove a card for the sake of it. How much faint memory? I can remove something from Magna. So let's remove maybe one of her basic cards and that should be fine. I don't know. Let's see. I didn't even get like maximum epiphanies on Magna as well, which kind of sucks. But yeah, I was thinking I could do a RimWorld stream, either like modded or unmodded, where I name some of the colonists depending on people. I don't know if there's a Twitch integration or something for that, but it would depend on how interested people are towards having like that be a playthrough. I think that would be pretty fun. Otherwise, maybe eventually I could do something like Shadowverse. I'd like playing Shadowverse as well, the Worlds Beyond, but I don't know. It's very dependent on if that's even interesting to watch. I like a lot of card games. I love a lot of roguelikes, but Devil May Cry 3, at least for now, then probably 4 or 5. RimWorld, then some retro games. I've got like a massive backlog of games that I just want to stream and talk about, and then some of them I also want to try and make some longer form of content towards as well. So I don't know, eventually that will be in my backlog. Of course I've got like a whole bunch of streaming assets and everything that I want to try and make in beforehand. Like right now, I'm wanting to make like just talking assets. So I don't know, eventually one day maybe perhaps I'll have enough people typing simultaneously that I can just write down or have those streaming assets come into use, like when it's the chat boxes or whatever. And then I wanted to make the schedule as well, so I've got all of those things planned out. But yeah, it's like a whole bunch of stuff that I've got planned. It's all just like a matter of time, and I'm taking it gradually, but I also want to be able to post shorts and whatnot, not just like long form content, because I really do. What do you call a deer with no eyes and no legs? I'm not sure, but I do know what you call a cow with 2 legs. It's lean beef. And if it has no legs, it's ground beef. So what do you call a deer with no eyes and no legs? Something similar? I got no idea. Nice. True. No idea. Indeed. Gotta love it. Let me see. What do you call a fly with no wings? A walk. You call it a walk. Because it can't fly, guys. Make sure to like and follow and subscribe and send me $2 million if you enjoy my content. Don't forget, guys, wow, you come here for this awesome stand-up comedy and nothing else. Isn't that just incredible? Okay, we can do Ice Fragment, even though I didn't get the equipment. Blah, 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 blah. We can do this one as well, and that's just like a flat-out increase. Unfortunately, I did not get a single Magna build that I'm satisfied with. And also, unfortunately, I am nearing the end of stream because I'm going to be busy in like 10 to 20 minutes. So I have to wrap up, but it was so nice to be able to stream. Thank you all for tuning in. I think tomorrow I need to double check what time I stream at. I'll maybe stream longer just so that I can hit the what's it called? The broadcast for Chaos Seer Nightmare, and then I can give my thoughts on it. I've got a lot of thoughts. My one brain cell, if it's good at anything, is good at just talking. So we'll see how that goes. We'll see what time I stream, and I'll see what my thoughts are. But otherwise, that is going to have to be it for today. I will be on, as said, at the exact same time tomorrow, which was, let me check what this is in UTC, or GMT, I mean. So, and streaming every day this week except Wednesday. Oh, I forgot to mention that was during the weekend on my schedule. Oh, what a buffoon I am! How foolish I am! Yeah, so it's apparently 5 p.m. GMT, but otherwise it's 12 p.m. EST, so midday, approximately. I'll be streaming at the exact same time, and I'll be streaming for, like, either 2 hours plus, or something at least. But yeah, if this content appealed to you, make sure to follow, subscribe, hit that like button, hit the notification bell, do 12 backflips, 5 push-ups, send me $1 million, and cast a spell of good luck in my name, and perhaps something good will happen. Perhaps. Well, at least you'll get to see more of my stuff if you follow. That's plenty enough, right? Thank you for the stream. Oh, of course. Anytime. It has been my pleasure. And, yeah. I'm just gonna say it once more. Don't forget to follow. If you actually enjoyed what you listened to, if you enjoyed all my babbling, I will be putting out maybe a little bit more content. But yeah, that is the end of the stream. Same time tomorrow. Don't forget to follow. And have a wonderful day. Bye-bye! Bye-bye!